to see a whack MC when he bustin', but I just back away real cool, no fussin'. I'd rather go kicking in the streets with the bums and use the knowledge to collect what? Some funds. Open a non-profit and build a damn school. And this is the story of how a great king rules. There's many that claim to know the local demographic, but don't have the nerve to tell you the truth. It's tragic, but I do. So sit back and let me spit this shit to you. You feel better when I spit this shit to you. Despite the system trying to clamp down on the people, the people will learn how to stand up to evil. Not evil that's across the globe, that's too far, but evil that lies in their own backyard. And fighting, it's not an option, they can't win. The government, it's not supposed to represent sin, but then again they do, and that's a problem. So let's go down and figure out how to solve them. It's not fun being a rapper that can't speak, but we do, yes, and plus we make fat beats. Yo, we smoke weed, break up trees. Listen, bringing fat beats, that is our mission. You wanted to see us, homeboy, shut up and listen. Thelonious and Big Bennett, brother, check the vision. Mentalities of different realities. Enter the Star Trek room when you hear the boom. I be the Walkman with the super bass. Automatic stop, yes, stereo cassette player. With the delayer, freaky lyrical sprayer. Extraterrestrial rhyme sayer. I be the poetical VIC/master of the ceremony. Tenderoni, won't you come step with me? I'm on a historical journey. Kinda like Sigourney. Implore me to represent the attorney that represents my niggas, go figure. It's the card, they call me Uncle Bigger. Niggas love your blunts, down your liquors. I be the parallel to the fiction. You're fixated on this brother's nature. Relaxed behavior, I might save your change. Flip it, rearrange the whole concept. You was good for all your brain. Insane, psychotic, neurotic, black onyx, and hooked on phonics. Just atomic, bees like a bonnet. Cut with the Asiatic, they all up on it. Rhyme static with the erratic type of skill. You wonder, is this nigga Vic really for real? It's still, but only necessary in the berry. I'm milk like dairy, they quite contrary. That's scary, but I'm a dog in a prairie. I scurry to grab my bones and just worry. Lyrical flurry, go get your secretary with impeccable dictions. My style might vary, so get a hold of your own shit real fast. Fucking with us, we take it right out your ass. Prairie dogs chill while the other dogs howl. Too many dogs get sent to the pound. Back on the hill, me and my peeps just lounge. Prairie dogs, we keep it on the down. Splatter, don't like gun splatter. We try to climb the ladder, wicked men get better. They make it like splatter, but it really don't matter. Cause you know we coming back to our sons and our daughters. Father him the one who protects ya, and the mother she will never neglect ya. Through divine nature the people respect ya, and in this way I deliver my lecture.
Yes, it is 16:42 Central European Time, February 19th, and that makes it what? That was before. That's about what? 10 a.m. 10:42 Eastern Standard Time, USA, right? And that would make it about what? 7, something like that. 7:42 Pacific Time. I hope I'm getting that right. What's up, everybody? Yes, Dylan, we back. And we got, I don't want to, before I know too much about the details, I don't want to say fantastic news, but let's just say somebody's ass is actually getting charged with a crime in Europe, and it happens to be the prince, the one who, had the ugly pictures and the accusations, and the Epstien words, all kinds of stuff, the emails, and a lot of corroborative evidence and compelling testimony by Virginia Giuffre about Prince. What's the prince's name? Prince Andrew, right? His ass is getting thrown in the slammer, and it's a whole fiasco. So let's watch, because they went to his house. They're looking for evidence. And listen, there was a message from the king, his older brother, and he said the law has to proceed. That's what the message was from the older brother. Now, I mean, look, people are going to get into the details about whether they, presume if the king is going to pull a backdoor maneuver and all of this stuff. Sure, I say, why not come with all those theories? Why not come with that, right? But it does say something that he is being charged. That says something for the parliament. That says something about the people. You know, you could always talk about the power that the king has or one individual has. In this case, you could talk about the power of one president has, right, in the U.S. Or, you know, people always say, why didn't Biden do something about the Epstein files? Yeah, okay, so let's talk about the power of one man, right? Well, this one man, actually, I mean, Biden did actually prosecute Ghislaine Maxwell. He didn't put her ass in a cushy cell, and he didn't give her a pardon, and he didn't, you know, give her a slap on the wrist. So we can talk about the power of one man, but in this case, it's really about the people. If you ask me, it never is about one man. You have to have a whole lot of people supporting this kind of stuff for it to get a slap on the wrist. And we know for a fact there is one country that can be said right now to be giving out slaps on the wrist regarding Epstein, and that is the United States of America. So I won't be, you know, in this administration, so I won't be pointing the finger at Britain too fast about how, you know, how many slaps they give on the wrist for this. They just issued the warrant. The man's been arrested. Let's celebrate that for a second and hope that more can come from it. You know, let's hope. But in any case, come with the heat. Let's hear it.
Britain's former Prince Andrew has been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Now known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, he was taken into custody in Norfolk just a short while ago. He is accused of allegedly sharing confidential information with the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Mountbatten Windsor has previously denied any wrongdoing over his ties to Epstein. King Charles had stripped his brother of his titles back in October and has since evicted him from Windsor. Let's get back down to CNN's Salma Abdulaziz, who joins us
strong
live
language.
in London. Salma, what's the latest that you're hearing?
I want to start by asking maybe questions of what we don't know and what we do know so far. So we do know that he's been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office, but there's a lot of details that are still missing here, of course, Rahel. We don't know the specifics of the allegations of this investigation by the police. We're talking about a period of time between 2001 to 2011 when he was representing the UK as a trade envoy. But what are the specific allegations, the specific accusations of misconduct? We don't yet know that. What information actually prompted Thames Valley Police to make this arrest? That's the key question here, because we understand that they have been assessing this claim for some time now, I would say a period of days. That latest trove of emails where we see these allegations come to light has been out for a few weeks now. So what was the trigger? What was the switch? What was it that the police held on to that said, okay, now is the time when we need to take this very extraordinary action, of course, in this country? We also don't know where Andrew Mountbatten Windsor is currently being held. We don't know where he is being held. We simply know that he's been arrested, but we don't know any details beyond that or what the status of that is in terms of his arrest. And we still don't know if he's been interviewed under caution. That's what it's described as in this country. So essentially, has he been asked questions? Has he sat down with a police officer and been asked questions?
Yeah. And actually, James, you know, listen, he is screwed up. It appears so. And I would say, you know what? The victims have been through so much. We should all celebrate his ass being thrown in jail because he really looks pathetic. I mean, what could be worse? What could be worse than a man kneeling on his knees, cropped over a minor's body on camera? And I have no doubt whatsoever that if they have him like that, there must be a whole lot more worse pictures, not even just of him, but many. You know, this has been going on for 3-4 decades. You know what I'm saying? Over Republican and Democratic presidencies or administrations, quote unquote. Right. And but yeah, dude is looking real bad. I don't think any man wants to be in this situation, you know. And but let's see. I want to hear some more.
Yet. And where has he been asked these questions? What location has he been taken to? What do we actually know right now? Well, what we do know is
he's getting the royal treatment, whichever one it was brought to, wherever he is. I'm sure he's being treated like a prince. He's got the best legal defense on earth. You know, come on, you know.
Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, former Prince Andrew, who only earlier this month was forced out of the royal residence, pushed into.
But at least it is action. At least people are taking action. And this, no doubt, is on behalf of the people of the UK. Like, you cannot have a person out in front in any capacity representing your country that is a part of this scandal and has been accused, particularly been accused. Like, sorry, but even just being around at this point, because you know all the types of other crimes. It wasn't just this one crime. There's other things. I mean, these people were sharing state secrets. They were sharing. Jeffrey Epstein, if he got you on camera, it means he got you talking about something else. If he has a photograph of you with some kids or doing something salacious, then that means he also got some information, some state secrets from you that he shared with some other country. Like, straight up, it is what it is.
His brother's residence.
What's up, Dylan?
Estate, which is currently being searched by police.
He's royally screwed. He's royally screwed. Exactly.
Now,
indeed.
Faced a watershed moment, really, not just for himself, but for the royal family and really for this country at large, being arrested. Now, again, being arrested does not mean being guilty. We do not know the specifics.
Why do they have to say that about the Epstein files? Like, they literally have to come out and remind everybody that, hey, being arrested doesn't mean guilty. Did you know that?
Here of why the police have taken this extraordinary action of arrest. That is the detail we need. But you can imagine that the royal family is reeling. King
like,
Charles
we don't know.
Been trying to get
we don't know nothing anymore. We don't know what arrest means. You know what I'm saying?
Ahead of this time and time again. Last year, he stripped his brother of all his royal titles. I said he's pushed him out of the royal residence. He even took this really extraordinary step of preempting the possibility of this happening right now by saying he was willing to support the police in any inquiry that they had. So there's going to be a sense in this country, first of all, that this has caught up.
What are you supposed to say? Were you supposed to say, I'm not talking to the police at all? Hell no. I mean, come on. You know, the whole world is watching.
With Prince Andrew, he has been long under question, long under suspicion for his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, a relationship that he appears to have lied about in the past, saying that he ended his relationship.
And that is a big deal. Lying about your relationship. I mean, I'm sorry. It is what it is. And again, there is this issue about Virginia Giuffre and what she has said has happened between these two and Jeffrey Epstein and all of this, right? There's that issue. But there's also, what secrets did he give Epstein? Because Epstein got photos, and Epstein's not going to have just photos of you like this if he's not forcing you to give him some information. Do you know how long he held on to those photos? Why? What was he getting out of him? Because if he wasn't getting what he wanted, those photos would have been released a long time ago.
Relationship with Mr. Epstein once he was a convicted sex offender, so around 2008. Now, in these latest email troves, that does not appear to be the case, and it is now clear that he did continue that relationship after Epstein was convicted, and it is that information that led King Charles to strip him of his royal titles, to take these extraordinary steps to try to get ahead of what's happening.
Because you have to wonder how far. Listen, this just comes down to how far would a person go? Would a person sell their own country out? Would a person sell their own country out? Would they? Would they? You know, this is what it comes down to. Would Trump sell his own country out? Would Prince Andrew sell his own country out? The very taxpayers that pay his bills. You know what I mean? I know he's part of the royal family, but they get an endowment. They get money from the taxpayers still. You see what I mean? And the same thing with, and you're a representative, so it doesn't even matter. Just on the how can I say this? Just on the culture tip, you know, would you sell your own country out? Would you go that far and sell out your own country? And this is the question. And it's the same question with Trump. It's the same question people got to ask with Trump, got to ask with anybody that's in these files. What information have you been giving up? And they already know that not just him, but somebody related to Starmer, right? Who was the guy that was Mendelsohn, right? Mendelsohn was spilling state secrets or inside information. You see what I mean? This has to be prosecuted. You see, they can't play any games, because if you're selling out the country because you threw your thing down on the table with little girls and got pictures taken of you, and now they can blackmail you, now espionage can be committed. If you went that far, you got to go to jail. People got to know. You have to be outed. And it's the same thing in the United States of America, unless Americans want to be the suckers for the world. That's all. It's a cultural thing. It's a personal thing. I mean, how far do you take this? Do you take sellouts to your country? Like, it's like, oh, well, who cares, man? Fuck it. We all sell out our country. I haven't done that. So
happening here. But again, it has caught up with them. There is going to be also a bit of empathy, I imagine, in this country for his family, the York family, as they are known here. He has 2 young daughters. They're in their 30s.
I don't know. This has nothing to do with his family. Has something to do with this man throwing his thing down on the table the way he chose to do. He didn't go consult his kids. He didn't consult his wife. He didn't consult anybody else before he did these actions. So I don't know what that has to do with it. Empathy for his family. This has nothing to do with his family. Nobody hates his family. This is on him, man.
They have their own families. Their faces have been splashed all over the media for the last few days. So many questions.
Well, people shouldn't go after his family for things that he did. You know, that I don't agree with that. But
here swirling around what is, first of all, a family that represents this country, the monarchy as an institution, and how Mr. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor represented it as a trade envoy. And I did write down some details of the emails that could be in question here. Around 2010, he appears to have forwarded government report visits, details of those visits in Vietnam, Singapore, China. There are emails that indicate that Mountbatten Windsor forwarded investment opportunities for gold and uranium in Afghanistan. He had a duty of confidentiality between.
Exactly. I mean, this is what it's about. It's not about nobody's parents, nobody's family, none of that. It's about, in your position, would you sell out your country to Jeffrey Epstein because he got you on, camera doing things you weren't supposed to be doing in the first place? You're supposed to have better sense to know that. But since you don't have the ethical and moral fortitude to not be in those situations, since you don't have that insight, you know what I mean? Would you sell your country out? I mean, and look at it. Look at what they're saying. This
in 2001, in 2000.
Hold on. Did I just turn the volume down on that? Here we go.
11 as trade envoy. Did he abuse?
As trade envoy. Did he abuse?
The public office.
The public office.
Did he violate?
Did he violate?
Government information.
Government information.
He violate the pact for confidentiality.
Did he violate the pact for confidentiality? It's very simple. Did he violate his trust? Did he sell his country out?
That is the question the police are asking right now. The details around that we have yet to know.
This is a damn whack ass way to sell your country out too. Like, this is the fucked up way, man. It wasn't like, hey man, my son got captured and they grabbed my son and threatened to kill him. And if I didn't give over the secrets to the treasury, they were going to kill my son. It's nothing like that. It's like, hey man, they got me on pictures with my body on top of a little 12-year-old girl. You know what I mean? Over a little child. You know what I mean? And another grown woman is saying, I violently raped her multiple times. Like, this is a bad way to go out. This is bad. This is bad as hell, man. I don't even, can it be worse than this? Only Trump is going to find out that part. Can it be worse? It can only be worse if you were the best friend of Jeffrey Epstein.
It generates.
I mean, Lord knows what kind of pictures they got on Trump. I'm like, I can't even imagine. It's got to be like with animals. It's probably with babies, little kids. I mean, all types of shit people have alleged on Trump, and I'm sure it ain't. You're not even heard the worst of it yet.
It's a flurry of text links, people trying to put together what they know now. Can you remind me?
Hey, bravo to the UK. Bravo to the UK right now. Just big up. Bravo to the UK for keeping it real and understanding that you're a democracy and your people are owed this. You cannot sell your people out like this. You can't have people committing crimes on this level while the taxpayers are doing their part. The taxpayers are staying loyal to the country. The taxpayers are up wanting the country to do good, wanting the country to do well, appreciative. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. And then here you go. You got somebody like this, a prince, sadly, and it's not, I'm not being down on the prince. I say for anybody, any man to do this, to be any person anywhere near government, whether you royal family, whether you're an elected member to the parliament or whatever, on any level, to do this, and then on top of it, give up secrets of your country, man, you a goddamn, you got a problem, man. No one should want to have anything to do with you. And I'm saying there is a difference. Everybody's not going to pass the test. You know what I'm saying? Some people pass it and some people don't. And this, if you're connected to Jeffrey Epstein, that means you failed the ethical moral test. Like, that's what that means. That's what that means.
What's the state of play here in the U.S. right now? It's the House Oversight
Yeah, good question. What's the state in the U.S.? Excellent question.
Committee, right? Like, who is investigating what at this point?
Oh, by the way, y'all, can y'all tell I got a new keyboard? Yeah, so my timing is back to what it used to be, right? It's back. I like it. It's really working out for me well now.
Well, that's a question that we don't actually know the full answer to. The House Oversight
Back to the OV media.
Committee is pursuing some depositions with the former Victoria's Secret owner, Wexner, did a deposition yesterday, but also there's this whole the question
And he's
of
a major donor,
Yes,
which is why people are focused
right.
on him.
And the question of whether Bill and Hillary Clinton, what their testimony will look like, that's been going back and forth, but is expected in the coming weeks. But I think that the thing that is notable here is that so far the fallout from the Epstein files, which by the way have still not been fully released despite the law that said that they needed to be, the fallout has been not in America, not in American politics in ways that people have really been feeling. The kinds of results that have been happening in Europe,
Yeah.
Or people even stepping away from.
There's loads of people stepping down from office and being kicked out of office, and now it's people being charged in Europe for their relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, based on what has come out in the U.S. And yet the U.S. Parliament, the Congress, and the House are still going along with this fool, and all these other people that were in the Epstein files, all in his cabinet. You know, it's like, come on, man.
From business dealings in the United States, there are a lot of political figures who keep coming up in these documents.
Yeah.
Documents are not necessarily things that implicate guilty behavior, but we have from the Justice Department from the beginning this statement that there was nothing to follow up on in terms of criminal investigation. We just don't. That statement coming at the front of the release when we see that other things have been followed up on.
I want to add one more thing to that, because Prince Andrew in the past has denied the allegations of sexual abuse from people like the late Virginia Giuffre. I just want to read something just because the paper happens to be in front of me. New York Times, they're talking about the Commerce Secretary Lutnick, and they mention that it says he's not the only prominent Trump administration official to appear. The records show that RFK Jr., obviously of DHS, once went hunting for dinosaur fossils with Mr. Epstein. An email file shows that Dr. Mehmet Oz, who's at CMMS, invited Mr. Epstein to a 2016 Valentine's Day party. None of these things are criminal, but they're also part of this dialogue that says the elites, there's an elite out there, they're all buddies, they all hang out with each other, and they accrue the benefits of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, in 2016, he was a convicted pedophile. Why are you hanging out with this man in general? And I just am hard-pressed to find that people didn't know that of his behavior. And then they also lied about it, and they lied to the American people. Lutnick actually lied to people and said, I had nothing to do with it. And then he's like, oh, wait, I did have lunch on the island. It's like, who do you believe anymore at this point? And I think, to your point, the American people, I think, are so interested in this because of the power dynamic, because they see that they'll never be able to get ahead. They're not in these elite circles. They're not in this weird class of people that do things and aren't held accountable and get to play by different rules.
But I also think another
and you
thing
know what?
that sticks
And
out to
the
me
American
when you
people,
read through the different revelations that have been coming out of these files is that I think a lot of Americans think like, oh, there's.
And the American people are not in the class of the people that are guaranteed health care rights or guaranteed access to education if they aspire to be educated. The American people are not in that class of Westerner that really knows if they're going to get, decent child care for their children, affordable child care. They're not anywhere in the same class, and yet they're dealing with more fucking tyranny from their own members. You know, it's crazy.
You know, there's Republicans and there's Democrats, but actually among the elite, they're not really as different as you think. And these are files that include everyone from Naomi Campbell to Steve Bannon going and allegedly hanging out on this island. And so it's like, wait a minute, this is not. This elite is like, it's different than like right versus left.
That's where it plugs into the bigger political thing going on here. There's this phrase, you guys have both used the word class, talk about it. Ro Khanna, the congressman from California who wrote the bill that was the Epstein file, he has this phrase, the Epstein class, which has now gotten some pickup.
Oh yeah, or the Epstein administration, I've heard him say.
Yeah, but the Epstein class, I think, does get into the, like, people have a feeling that there are some who are getting ahead, who are getting wealthy, while a lot of Americans are struggling and are not able to break through. They see this going on, and this.
I'm just fixing the audio a little bit, y'all. Here we go.
What's in these files, at the very least, does seem to confirm that for a lot of people, that there's this rich network of people. They go hunt for dinosaur fossils together. They hang out on an island. They whatever. And then you add in all of the illicit behavior, all this. It's stuff that is remote from anything that most people are dealing with, and makes this the economic and
you know, there's another element to this also. It's like the United States is not a monarchy. Right. So the reason why we're not a monarchy, you know, it makes it harder for people to go after their own monarchy, obviously, because they're cultural symbols. And when you see this, it stings. Right. But so when you see them go after Andrew, they're saying the law must apply. The democratic laws set by the people of this nation must apply to him and everyone, even, you know, and that's what you're seeing there in the UK. Even if it was slow, even if they weren't happy to go after him, even if they didn't just, you know, maybe move as fast as what some people think they should have or not. Look, the bottom line is that the U.S. is not a monarchy. So what took the U.S.? What's taking the U.S. so long? These are not cultural symbols. Trump is not a cultural symbol. Trump is not related. His family hasn't represented the U.S. for generation after generation after generation. You know, so what's our problem? What's our problem? Our whole democracy is supposed to be about everybody can go the fuck to jail and nobody is owed any type of special privilege. And yet these people in the U.S., they're giving nothing but special. They're giving nothing but special privilege right now. I mean, it's ridiculous. They're giving more special privilege than fucking monarchies are giving people special privilege. It makes no sense.
The historian, the biographer, and the author of entitled "The Rise and Fall of the House of York" coming up.
Damn. The rise and fall of the House of York. Shit. Okay. Okay. Damn.
The British royal family is coming under intense scrutiny again this week. They were the target of hecklers and demonstrators on a walkabout on Thursday in Essex. Fresh allegations against Andrew Mountbatten Windsor are being made in the wake of the mass release of the Epstein files. A second woman has come forward alleging she was trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein in 2010 for sex with the then Prince Andrew in the UK after being taken on a tour of Buckingham Palace. British police are, quote, assessing the claim. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has previously denied any wrongdoing related to Epstein. Now, stripped of his titles, he's been evicted too from his home at Royal Lodge in Windsor, reportedly in the dead of the night on Monday. Seen on his horse in Windsor, but not heard from this week. The lawyer, Brad Edwards, says his team...
He's been seen on his horse. I know. If he ever goes to jail, man, he's going to miss the good life. That's for damn sure.
His legal team cannot get hold of him to formally put the new allegations to him.
They can't get a hold of him. I mean, this is just in retrospect now. You know, obviously they've gotten him now, I'm pretty sure. But wait a second, let's find out what else happened.
And the British Prime Minister is calling for Andrew to testify about what he knows about Epstein before the US Congress. Questions too for King Charles, seen by critics, analysts and some politicians as ultimately responsible for how the monarchy has or hasn't handled the scandal over the years. The latest photo released in the Epstein files appears to show Andrew on all fours over a young woman, and that was scattered, those images all over.
Hey, Virginia Giuffre, rest in peace to her. You know, she basically set it all off for exposing these people, and she paid with her life, you know. And these people are so selfish. They're so selfish that they would have a young girl out there getting death threats to be quiet, after they did all of these things to her. This is the cowardice of these wealthy people. Like, and I'm not saying it's all of them, but the ones that are, turning a blind eye to this shit. Obviously, it's cowardice. It's pure cowardice what they did to this to that lady to when she was a little girl. Like, it's complete utter cowardice. And there's no one can do anything good with that type of plague. That's like a plague in the country, this cowardness. It's harming and affecting a lot of people, and it's coming from the top. It's coming from the top.
The streets of Dedham in Essex yesterday ahead of King Charles and Queen Camilla's visit, and there were hecklers too. This is what happened.
And if you don't think these people need justice, then I'm sorry.
That's not what we're here for today, is it? My
But it
colleagues,
is.
we're going to walk down with you.
Because this is the only way to make it clear to people that Andrew should not be let off.
Andrew's brother, Prince Edward, was asked about the allegations during a conference in Dubai on Tuesday, the most senior royal to speak about it. Here's what he said.
I'm not sure this is the audience that is probably the least bit interested in that. So they all came here to listen to about education solving the future. But no, I think it's all really important always to remember the victims. And who are the victims in all this?
The British historian, biographer and author Andrew Lowney has spent 4 years investigating the life, livelihoods and the questionable financial affairs of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and Sarah Ferguson, as well as looking into Andrew's questionable relations with Epstein in his book entitled The Rise and Fall of the House of York. I am delighted, Andrew, that you join us.
I mean, it sounds way too dramatic. You know what I'm saying? The rise and fall of the House of York. No, this is even more simpler than this. This is like old fucking just like selfish goddamn men that can't keep their hands off of fucking kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and this is I'm sorry, but this kind of child rape and things like that, has nothing to do with whether you're wealthy or not. You see what I mean? Like, but it just is even more crazy to see people justify it. That's really where the problem is. And it doesn't matter if he's rich or if the person is poor. So when I hear this, the fall of the house of, that's way too dramatic. Come on, man. What the hell? People go through this shit this is happening all the goddamn time. This is on him. He just proved to just be another person that puts his hands on little kids. That's basically what it's about. And of course, he hasn't been convicted of that yet. So but I mean, he's been accused of it. So he's just another man that's in a photo that's been accused of harming a person in the photo and possibly being with others. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry, that happens. People got to get with the program. Like, this shit is happening for real. And it's happening not just only with the wealthy, it's happening all over, and people should condemn it. You shouldn't give it a pass. This is the issue. You shouldn't give it a pass when it's the wealthy. That's been the problem. But I don't know. It just seems like it's way too dramatic. The fall of the house. Come on, man. Just take the person's trial. You know, a woman lost her life. A woman allegedly committed suicide, as they say, after she said that these horrible things were done to her, that she had death threats, and no one cared. I mean, come on. You know,
this evening, welcome to France 24. I've got to say, first of all, I found the book breathtaking. You actually have to catch your breath in reading.
Anyway, I'm sorry, I can't be selling no goddamn books right now. Let's see what else is going on here. Sorry about that. I just don't want to hear it about the book. You know, yeah. Let somebody else do that. But yeah, at least they have put out an arrest warrant. Have they captured him yet? Has he been captured? Let's see.
Charles, as well, a statement right here that I want to read in full, a statement from His Majesty the King. I have learned with the deepest concern the news about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and suspicion of misconduct in public office. What now follows is the full, fair, and proper process by which this issue is investigated in the appropriate manner and by the appropriate authorities. In this, as I've said before, they have our full and wholehearted support and cooperation. Let me state clearly, the law must take its course. As this process continues, it would not be right for me to comment further on this matter. Meanwhile, my family and I will continue in our duty and service to you all. Charles R. Let me bring this to.
So basically, this is not even about Virginia Giuffre, and not directly, right? But this is about what they found out. He was giving away secrets of the state to Epstein based on their relationship. Now, whether you want to directly connect it to Virginia, that's what I do, because she's the one who busted it wide open. It's the victim. If we wouldn't even be reading these things if she wasn't so vocal about justice, right? So we wouldn't even know this much. And so that's how I connected, but
For our royal contributor, Robert Jobson, just extraordinary.
so he's not going to trial for Virginia Giuffre for those acts. He's going to trial for sharing state secrets, essentially.
Robert.
Really extraordinary. I mean, the reality, George, here is this is unprecedented. We're in historic moments that are happening before our eyes. I mean, who could have imagined that statement from Buckingham Palace, where the king is talking about his brother, where the arrest took place this morning at 8 a.m., shortly before, actually, the Prime Minister had gone on air and said no one was above the law. This was the home where the Queen Elizabeth, had her last final holiday. This is a royal estate being raided by Thames Valley Police. This is an extraordinary moment, seismic. And we'll have to see how it plays out, because people are talking at the moment, about protocol and things like that and what happens next. Well, this guy is actually still in the line of succession. That needs to just happen immediately and just dealt with. You just cannot have this guy, even the fact that, we've got a court case that could follow and we don't know what's going to happen next. But he's technically in the line of succession to the British throne. It's just making a mockery, really, of this country. And I think that, this is truly, truly historic, and it's changing by the hour.
It clearly is. Is it going too far to say this is a threat to the monarchy?
Well, it's undoubtedly a threat to the monarchy. Whether or not it's a threat to the overall existence of it, I think many people, younger people.
It's definitely a threat to the monarchy. It's definitely a threat to the monarchy. And keep this in mind, too. It's also like this with the U.S. It's very hard for people to attack the U.S. from the outside. But if you have people on the inside helping through acts like this, right, through being just pathetic like this is worse. What the U.S. is going through is actually worse than any outside person could do, because it's people inside allowing it and helping it to happen. If it wasn't these stooges inside of our country going along with this mess, behaving this way, it could never happen. You see what I mean? But nonetheless, it's happening. And Tay, I see your message. Yeah, I was on time today, but it's all good. It's all good.
People will argue, what is the point of an institution that's
What's up, everybody? Appreciate y'all.
When you've got criminality or potential criminality actually unfolding like this, and members of the royal family being arrested and cautioned and maybe cautioned, but arrested and cautioned and to give evidence under oath in an interview. It's shocking. But I think that what's clear here and what stands out is that Prince William and Catherine are very distant from this. If you remember the footage at the Duchess of Kent's funeral, where Prince Andrew sidled up to Prince William, he looked decidedly uncomfortable, and he's made it clear through many sources that he was arguing that action should have been taken against Prince Andrew by the royal family, more decisive action by his grandmother, the Queen.
Well, here's the thing. I hear you, Dylan. You said the UK facilitated the intelligence for most of the targets in Gaza. Okay, I didn't know that, but it's possible, because they've been working together somewhat for a long time. There's a history with the UK, the US, also, and other countries with Israel, right? But in any case, a lot of that is starting to change. But in any case, visionary, you said, let's see who's above the law. Yeah, let's see who's above the law. Let's see who's above the law. Let's find out. Because it's not looking great. It's not looking great right now for the normal people on earth. The everyday worker, the person that works the 9 to 5, the person that's a middle class, upper middle class or lower middle class or even poor, man, you can't get a fair shake. These people are literally just being unpatriotic. They're being treasonous. I'm not trying to use strong words just because this is Prince Andrew, right? I don't care about that, right? I'm just saying the act itself, you giving over state secrets through blackmail, through this type of scheme, dealing with a Jeffrey Epstein who's honeypotting you. Dude, you're fucked up, man. you can't do anything. No country can rock like this and get anywhere. If your representatives are going to be this pathetic, man, no wonder shit is the way it is. And I'm not saying it to be down on the UK. I'm talking about even our own representatives in the US, man. This the best we got? No wonder we don't have fucking health care. We got pedophiles, man. That's why. No wonder we don't have the simplest fucking things. Access to education, because we have rich, elitist fucking pedophiles that don't care nothing about the being a patriot to our country. We have middle class and poor men going to war, dying, getting their legs blown off in every war to protect these fucking assholes, and they have the nerve to behave this way. That's what I'm talking about. You know, it's pathetic.
There's a sense, really. I remember that he was at a bigger ceremony, the Garter ceremony. He refused to take part in it.
I hope people are waking up, Tay. I hope people are waking up, for real.
If Andrew took part in it, I think that with Andrew,
it's pathetic.
With William and Catherine, we have a clean pair of hands, really. A lot of people deeply respect them. So whether the monarchy is under threat, I don't know necessarily, but I do think that the current king, as brother to this man, as this unravels, you know, there will be people that will be interviewed who work for the royal family and people that actually, you know, people pay on the payroll of the king.
Well, that's the question I wanted to get to. Are we going to get to the old Watergate question with King Charles? What did he know and when did he know it?
Without doubt, George, that is exactly what I was thinking. You know, sometimes people, in this case, but particularly with the crimes that Epstein and his people around him committed against the victims, the crime isn't worse than the cover-up. But this cover-up, if it does turn out to be a cover-up, could be a real damage, serious damage to the royal family, because you've got to remember this has been in the public domain for over 16 years.
I mean, Tay, I don't blame you. Tay says more and more I watch a YouTube channel breaking down saying, what are we going to do? She's literally she's literally talking about revolting. Listen, people, hey, I don't know exactly what revolt means in this case, but I don't blame you. And somehow people must revolt somehow, because to accept, you should really worry about the people that accept this kind of treatment, this kind of behavior from their own government officials. You should worry about people that accept this kind of behavior, because things are not going to be good for them. People that accept this behavior, things are not going to get better. It's only going to get worse. And shame on the congressional members and the senators that have not impeached this goddamn administration and anybody connected to Epstein working in fucking government. Shame on you. They all need to be brought up on charges. They all need to be facing criminal trials, like straight up. And just shame on our government, man. And the worst part about it is you got to pay their salary while they fuck you over, while they laugh like it's a joke, you know. And American people are going to watch everyone else be held accountable on the global stage. They're going to see how other people in other countries react and demand justice, demand these people be removed from office immediately. You're going to watch that, and then you're going to look back in your own country and you're going to say, damn, what the fuck is wrong with us? And that's a good question to ask, because something is fucking wrong with us.
You know, the reality is there's
excuse my language,
been lies after lies, and something in the region of 16 million pounds.
I mean, I guess it's called Stockholm syndrome. You know, American citizens have Stockholm syndrome. The people that abuse them, they just can't figure it out. They're just like, damn, you know, deer and, you know, looking into the headlights. They haven't figured out these people going to abuse them again.
Was paid to Virginia Giuffre by whoever it was, but by the royal family, by Prince Andrew. And is that hush money? I mean, this does not really look good for the institution as well as the individual.
I mean, this is exactly what Trump was caught up in, except they said, no, you know what? This man paid hush money and he lied and he committed fraud and he did it. Fuck it, I'm going to elect him again. And then you find out the man is a cold-blooded, likely a cold-blooded pedo and child murderer even, some are saying. I mean, people are so goddamn hard-headed in the United fucking States of America that they had a chance to get rid of this clown, and they literally voted for him over the first woman that's ever been vice president in the country's history, who's got a way further track record in the public, than he does. And they chose a billionaire that hangs out with the most prolific child rapist and blackmailer. This is what you dumb motherfucking Americans have done. Like, you deserve to fucking be called what you fucking are, because this is who you are. This is who you fucking are. Like, just face up to it. For one reason or another, you elected Trump. That's what you did. And if you don't face why you did that, nothing is going to get better for you.
Is there anything more that King Charles...
Hold on, let me see here. D says, I'm from the UK and we are celebrating today. Hey, I hear you. There you go. That's what I'm saying, D. Good. Kudos to you. Big up everybody in the UK celebrating, because you know damn well that we can't have justice if we have our government reps and the people in the higher places representing our country behaving this way, selling our own country people out. What the fuck? Why should anyone else be loyal to the country when these motherfuckers ain't loyal? I mean,
Charles can do to protect his reign here?
And again, I'm not just saying this because this is Prince Andrew here. I'm talking about my own country in the U.S., man. We're even fucking worse. At least you all are bringing his ass up on charges. At least that's happening in the U.K. Right now, fucking Americans, and I'm talking about my people, we're not even fucking ready yet. I mean, something is really fucking wrong in our country with our goddamn people. Like, seriously. I mean, you deserve to point the finger at us and say, what the fuck is wrong with you Americans? Like, get your shit together. Like, I'm serious. Everybody needs to.
Done what he had to do.
Everybody in the Western countries or anywhere else that's been an ally to us on earth, you should point your finger at this administration right now, our congressional people, our senators. Point the finger and say, what the fuck are you doing? What is wrong with you people? And that's exactly how you need to treat us until we clean up our fucking problems, like, fast.
I would stress at the very beginning here that when Prince Andrew was, as he was appointed to be an envoy for the government, Prince Charles was against it. He was the Prince of Wales. It wasn't his call. It was Tony Blair's government. They pushed it along with the Queen, who sanctioned.
Yeah, thank you for that, D. Yeah, we don't. I'm happy. I'm one of the Americans that know that. I live abroad. I live outside of the U.S., so I know that a lot of people don't hate Americans. They know how our political thing is working and that we have some complexities there and some problems there. So they know most Americans are not down with this shit at all. But listen. We have to learn how to clean up our shit, or we're not going to have a fucking country. You guys at least have health care. You guys at least have education. We're not even fucking getting. We have so much corruption, we can't even get that. And then we have this kind of bullshit go on. Like, I'm sorry, man. We put up with too much bullshit, and it's coming to a point where Either we're going to clean this mess up or we're not going to have a country anymore. Like, really,
So, but Charles was...
I give you all Brits credit for dealing with your problems. It's embarrassing. It's not a good look, but at least you understand you have to deal with these problems for things to just move forward. You see what I mean? But somehow in the U.S., they're sitting there trying to figure out how they don't. The senators and the congressional members in the Supreme Court are sitting there trying to figure out a way of how they don't have to do anything about this and they can still move on. That's exactly what they're doing.
Was against it from the outset. He didn't think his brother
was
Rafika either qualified or suitable for the role. How right he was. But the reality is, I think that going forward, the king has put out this statement, and yes, he is hampered. There is a police investigation, but people will be wondering about the monarchy. I think a statement from him on the television that needs to be made, where he's basically saying whatever happens, there will be more transparency in the royal family, there will be more accountability, and there will be absolutely people that will, if anybody's done anything wrong, they will be held in account, they will be called to book. So I think he needs to say that on television. Now, obviously, he's saying with this statement, I can't say anything more.
Yeah. In general, D, all the Western world, we have to deal with this issue of corruption. Some countries has it worse than others. Obviously in the U.S., we have it very, very bad with corruption. This is what you're seeing. The UK has issues with corruption. We all need to deal with this because, You know, we see how it plays into politics too, and we can't have it. Look, we can have disagreements about a lot of things, but we all need to stand firm on corruption is only going to kill us faster than anything else could. Corruption is definitely going to do that. So we got to find a way to deal with these things, or we're going to be facing hard times in the future, you know. But my country, we're such a big country, 350 million people. We're significant to the extent that we cause others problems too when we don't deal with our corruption, man. We not only cause ourselves problems, when I'm talking about everyday people, I'm not saying that we don't do any good in the world, but we also do other issues that a lot of times people don't think about. We're creating also, you know, and this instability that we create economically through corruption, this instability that we're creating through having these people being blackmailed, and all of a sudden we got to start a war somewhere, or we have to do something a little different. We have to pass this kind of law because the corrupt little pedos think so. The pedo club, they want to keep everything a secret. You know, their little puppet master is waving his wand and so you got to make this deal and do this. Now we got to clean that shit up. There's no more room for it. There's no more room for it, you know. Yeah.
Police investigation, which could means that Andrew is held for up to 96 hours. I mean, it's initially 36 hours.
All right, let me see. Let's get to the next one here real quick. I just want to see what the different networks, if there's any new stuff coming out on it. And hopefully there is. Let me see. Hopefully we will hear what the exact charges are.
In the United Kingdom, where it is on its way towards lunchtime on a Thursday, the reports are that Prince Andrew, the former Prince Andrew, has been arrested. Now, the suggestion is that police have arrived at the former Prince's home. Now, this information is very fresh to us right now. It is the BBC who is making this reporting as we speak. But Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, as he is to be known now, of course, the former Prince Andrew, all of the questions that have surrounded his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, all of the questions that have extended into potential domestic consequences that may be for him in the United Kingdom. Now, we will learn over the next hour exactly what has taken place, but 8 officers have arrived at his home in the past few minutes. They've arrived in 6 separate...
This is a typical man problem right here. You know, men that don't know how to go to work and keep their dick in their pants, like straight up. Men that don't know how to be married and keep their dick in their pants. Men that, and I'm not just blaming it on men. There's a lot of good men out there, but this is your typical man problem you're looking at. This is a problem created by fucking men. You know, I mean, because it is embarrassing. Look, it all started. If the dude could have just said, you know what, that is wrong. I have morals and principles. I'm not messing with no little girls. I'm married. I'm not messing with no little girls or any women, period. I'm a married man. I'm going to be true to who I am. If you just had men like that, none of this would fucking exist. But the problem is that we got too many men that want to mess with little girls. We got too many men that want to play married and talk conservative, but are out there cheating like insanity. And these are powerful fucking people whose lives have consequence and their decisions have consequence to all the rest of us. This is a pathetic ass problem to have in 2026. You know what that means? When they was talking about woke, you know, when the right wing was talking about, oh, we're going to go after woke. Nah, I see why you wanted to go after woke, because woke don't do this. Woke doesn't fuck with little kids. Woke doesn't lie on their wife and go sneak and throw their dick around at a party and shit so somebody can take pictures and blackmail you. See, woke didn't get you into this problem. You see what I mean? Yeah, this ain't nothing woke happening here. You see? No. These are the people that talk shit about woke.
Metropolitan Police vehicles. Now, one of the accusations that was being levelled at the former Prince Andrew is that when he was the trade envoy, and he was for the best part of more than 10 years, he was representing the UK government. Now, obviously, he was above party politics as to whether that was a Conservative government or a Labor government. But amazingly here, that question of misconduct in public office is what this all connects back to, because some of the suggestions have been that information that he may well have learnt in the privileged position of being the trade envoy, he may well have spoken about that information outside of the areas that he was supposed to.
And do you really think he's going to tell the truth? I mean, do you really think they asked him about Virginia Giuffre? You saw how well he did on camera telling the world, I didn't have nothing to do with this. No, that's impossible. That pictures can't be real. You know, he told people something like that. He fucked around and told people some hilarious stories, Prince Andrew's, just about, you know, to try to say that, no, none of this could be true, what they're saying about Virginia Giuffre. How's that possible? That couldn't have happened. I don't sweat. The man even said, I don't sweat. I have a sweat problem. That couldn't be me. All kinds of shit. And so you expect that he's going to tell the truth about this? The man is not going to fucking tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? Let me see here. Hold on, D. If Andrew attended any Epstein party while he was on a trade envoy, then those Epstein parties can be investigated, which means the charges could expand, and they should. I mean, if you have a real justice minister, yes, that's exactly what they would do. We don't have one right now. Obviously, our DOJ is totally corrupt, so don't expect no charges coming out there. In fact, they probably running for the hills right now, because what you should do in the UK is do us a favor. Do us a favor. You guys need to squeeze this motherfucker for everything he got, every little secret that he's holding. You get every little piece of information out of Andrew about what has been going on, what these people have been doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, make him spill the beans. And you know Donald Trump tried to throw his ass under the bus to save his own ass. So especially get him to throw Trump's ass under the bus. If you do that, squeeze every little piece of sweat out of Andrew and go after Trump, because Trump ain't give a fuck about him. Trump just was happy to throw his ass under. Can you believe that shit? Can you believe that shit? Trump is a foul ass dude. He's a dude that will go for saving his ass any day of the week. He's going to throw anybody under the bus. And that's exactly what he did to Andrew. So Andrew better do something. He better do something about that. You know, that's my advice.
To be doing so, potentially even with Jeffrey Epstein. But again, we will see all of this play out in the next little while.
Yeah, Trump, we're going to see this play out. TikTok, Trump. We got your boy, Andrew. Who do you think he's going to snitch on now?
This is a potential jailable.
And the people shouldn't be satisfied until they get the truth out of his ass, too. Especially the truth about Trump. Don't be satisfied.
Offense. Now, we know that the former Prince Andrew has said of any and all allegations that have been made.
Let us know where the pictures are of Trump. Like, leak the pic. Do something. Get something. You know, because I've never, you know, again, are you really supposed to throw an ally under the bus like that? Trump threw Andrew under the bus, and he's mentioned in the Epstein files more than Andrew. He threw his ass under the bus instantly. It's like, what the hell is going on? So it's like, I mean, it seems like karma is awaiting.
About him in the past in relation to his proximity and allegations in and around Jeffrey Epstein that he has claimed to be innocent. Well, this is, again, a very different take on things, and one that does not require what the United States authorities have been able to find out. It is not related to the investigations that have happened in the Parliament in the United States, which, of course, has been very active. But, of course, he's not an American citizen, so he hasn't been able to be compelled to learn more about this.
But somehow Trump and Pam Bondi, I bet you Pam Bondi is listening very, very closely.
Now, at this stage, the police arriving, and again, the report from the BBC is the term arrested. Now, arrested simply obviously means in the earliest of moments here that this is somebody being engaged with by the police. Now, whether the questioning is taking...
It's his 66th birthday today? Damn. Whew, that's a bad look. I mean, they knew that too, and they were like, yeah, well, let's go get him. All right, let's go on. We heard that. That was from earlier today. This is some live. I think this is still live under Sky News. Let's see what Sky News is talking about now. Otherwise, I will go to the Associated Press live and see what they got going on. Here we go. Let's see. What are they talking about here?
It's the first chapter of a book, which is a huge book about royal crisis that I think, historians 1,000 years in the past will be studying, because this, whatever happens, is going to have a huge impact on the royal family.
Whatever does happen from this point, none of us obviously know. Our royal commentator, Alistair Bruce, was of the view that inexorably it will lead to Andrew Mountbatten Windsor needing to abdicate from the line of succession. What do you think?
I think I couldn't agree with Alistair more. I think that has to be done. I think that's something that people are going to say. They're going to say, well, if there was a terrible crisis, God forbid a terrible crisis, and everyone else was to pass away, Andrew could be king. And this is a man who's currently being, at this moment...
Yeah, he ain't just 66. He's 666 out this one.
being interrogated by police. He might even be in a police cell. We don't know. So, this simply can't come to pass. The royal family, yes, they're born to the role, but they're also public servants. They have this ambivalent sort of position. And like the rest of us, they're not judged by sales figures or metrics or productivity. They are judged by perception and message.
They're not even judged on productivity and shit. They judged on perception and message. And look at this shit. He couldn't even keep his dick in his pants. Excuse me, ladies. I'm sorry for saying it like that, but the man couldn't keep his private parts in his pants. The man, he can't. It's just like this. How do you behave that way as a man? That was his only job. Be a stand-up guy, man, in front of the camera. That was his only job. Act like you have some ethics and morals. You know what I mean? Act like there's some things that are just beneath you. No, you couldn't get out of this guy, man. He's gonna go all the way down. It's like, what the hell, man?
They are judged by what the public opinion is. And the simple fact is that the perception and message of the royal family is very low at the moment. People aren't looking at their charity work, and they're not looking at the king's work today.
Charity work? Shit, Epstein, they use charity work as scams to get little kids and shit. That's all charity work would mean to Epstein people. It's all a charity that they doing, but it's all, also trafficking, and blackmailing and shit. It's right. It just puts a damper on anything else you do, because, now that you see how racketeering works, and now that you've seen how trafficking works, it has different components to it. So all these guys have charities. All these people are doing these good deeds and, have businesses and ventures and all of this stuff. And they're all abusing them. Not all of them. I'm just saying Epstein gives you a picture of that, through how he conducted himself with all these quote unquote legitimate people. You see what I mean? So it kind of puts a damper on all of that,
Day for London Fashion Week, they are saying what is going on with Andrew. So it is extremely damaging, and I think the royal family are, particularly concerned that this is going to really, flower up, to use that phrase, a lot of people's concerns about the royal family, about transparency, that freedom of information requests cannot be put to the royal household, about money, about spending, and about the fact that, I think it's an interesting point. Sometimes they're a family, sometimes they're an institution, and they're really a family when they want to be and an institution when they want to be. And can you be a public servant when you are so close to this kind of misconduct? It has to be said that most of us in our jobs, if we were thought to have known about this kind of misconduct going on with someone leaking information to a competitor, we would be in severe trouble, and possibly we would lose our job.
Yeah. And talk to me about your view on public opinion and how that might change because of this arrest, because of course let's remember he's not just head of...
I don't know with Sharon. To Sharon, let me see. Sharon Rogers, hold on. Y'all, the word woke has never been used in the spirit and light for which it was intended, but in usual fashion, because it derived out of the creativity and connection of the despised ugliness attached. I have no clue what that means. I'm sorry. You got to be more plain. Make it plain, Sharon. Don't make it very clear. in any case, from what it appears you're writing, I don't agree at all. I don't think it's anything wrong with people being woke. The woke people weren't out here lying to the public, getting paid their tax dollars, and then going and hanging around with Jeffrey Epstein. That's not what woke is known for. Woke didn't have anything to do with Jeffrey Epstein. It's the people that was down with Jeffrey Epstein that literally went after what is called woke. That's Trump. They went out there and they took down black people's images from the history of the military, women's images from the history of the military, LGBTQ's images from the history of the military. Yeah, and they went, what are you talking about? That's foul as hell. That's minorities' images from the history of the U.S. military. What are you talking about? Woke was actually connected to all those, which should be things that we look highly upon. Service in the military, in our own country's military. But nah. They called that shit woke and had to get rid of it. So, I mean, Trump is the one who turned it dirty. You know, it was actually a fine term. I didn't go around using it myself, but it's definitely better than being called Epstein's best friend. It's better than being called a pedophile. It's better than being caught in treason, stealing money from your own taxpayers and lying to the public. It's way better than that. I would love to be called woke and be associated with woke than be associated with this bullshit right here. This bullshit right here is what is coming after your ass. Okay? Not woke. Woke people are leaving your ass alone. It's these people that's coming after you and your mama's health care and your daddy's health care and your baby's health care, your kids' health care, you know, your goddamn family's elder care. They coming after your house. You know, how much is your mortgage going to be soon? Are you going to be able to keep paying it? I mean, I'm just saying, you know, you might want to think about that. Nobody woke came after your mortgage. Nobody woke. Nobody in the name of woke came after your health care. Shit.
Here, the king, he's head of state in many other countries around the world as well.
He is head of state of many other countries. Now, we saw at the end of the late Queen's reign, quite a few of these other countries. Australia, we saw Australia, we're talking about it. We saw Jamaica, we've seen, you know, Antigua, saying we don't really want necessarily to have the king as head of state. Now, those efforts seem to have gone a bit quiet, but this is really going to, I think, surge those points up. People saying, why do we have this head of state that had a brother who was, you know, engaging in this activity, engaging in, you know, activity of leaking confidential information, if that's what Andrew's accused of, which is...
okay, maybe that's what she meant then, Taybon. Taybon says, V, what I got from her message is that she was saying woke was applied to being bad, even though woke is about... But okay, if that's what she's saying, then good. Is that what you're saying? Because I don't know there. Sharon, is that what you were saying, Sharon? Maybe you were saying that, but only you could speak for yourself. But I mean, I wasn't too sure. To me, it seemed like that could go either way. But look, let's just make it clear. We all know nobody claiming to be woke hurt anybody's. Oh, okay. Oh, you was. Okay, so my fault. I'm sorry about that then if I went on a rant. But we got to defend these things. You know, we got to keep it plain. They literally try to come after people just for wanting to be left alone. They wanted to come. Okay, there you go. They wanted to go after people just for wanting the right to be who they are themselves. Nobody woke ever said, hey, we want to go after kids. Nobody woke ever said, hey, I should be able to steal money from the government, and lie to the American people. Nobody woke said, I'm going to come and take your health care. Nobody woke pointed at people and said, hey, you're being too lazy. Go get 5 jobs since you can't pay your rent with 4. You know what I mean? Like no one who claimed, I didn't even use the word woke, really. I didn't never use that word, but I didn't hate it. I understood what people meant by it, right? But I'm not into words. I'm into actions, totally. But I didn't mind it. And the people that used it, they are far better people than the people that claim this shit under Trump. I'd rather associate with somebody that claims wokeness than somebody that associates with MAGA, because MAGA associated with this shit. You see what I mean? They associated with all those negatives, and they're going to have to live that term out. You want to keep using that word MAGA like that's a good term? You know, and they got the nerve to be making it sound like woke is like, ha ha ha, you're woke. That's just so funny. Ha ha ha, you woke losers. Okay, well, here you go. Here you go. You got some more anti-woke happening here. One anti-woke dude is getting his ass thrown in jail right now. You know,
crime of insider dealing, which would be insider dealing.
Why? Because the British people ain't up for that bullshit.
You know, this is going to bring up.
Yeah, sorry about that, Sharon. Kudos to you. There you go. We all make mistakes. Forgive me.
A lot of people's concerns and fears and people's really feelings about what the monarchy is there for, And there always has been this notion, hasn't there, that the monarchy were, in there by blood. They were born to it. And there was something special. I mean, that goes back to the medieval times. They're anointed by God. God chooses them. It's a special, almost semi-divine role. And how can that be something that goes alongside someone being arrested? Now, I'm a royal historian. I've seen royals engaged in all kinds of, accused of criminal activity. It all gets brushed under the carpet. The simple fact was that the public opinion about Andrew was so high that it couldn't be brushed under the carpet. The police had to continue with their investigation, and we will have a situation where we've already seen the police. We understand they're searching addresses in Berkshire and in Norfolk, which we would presume to be Royal Lodge and Andrew's Homewood Farm. I think it's very likely they will be searching Buckingham Palace and the offices that were Andrew's in Buckingham Palace.
Because of this guy's relationship, essentially Epstein was allowed into the palace, into Buckingham Palace, into places that a person that's out to commit blackmail and should not be allowed. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is this? And see, that is the scariness of it, because the Brits they made the same mistake by letting this type of individual get inside of the house. But the thing is that you can get him out of your house. The American people, we have these people up in our military now. We got Elon Musk about to install Grok, his own goddamn AI system, into our military's communication systems. Like, yo, if our Congress and our Senate allows that to happen, I mean, in my mind, they're treasonous, because this is the kind of conversations Jeffrey Epstein was having with people trying to topple governments. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what part of this that the Senate and the congressional members aren't getting, but yeah. It's not good.
This is something that's going to be extremely.
He needs to be made to talk. Like, straight up. They need to know everything that was going on, everything that he knew, because their national security is on the line.
Extremely damaging to the royals, and at the moment, I think public opinion is really going to be very, very critical. And all Charles can do is he has to be totally transparent and say not only are we willing to help the police, but I am going to speak directly to the police. And that fact that Charles, although he won't be arrested, is going to be he wouldn't be arrested, but he's going to be helping the police with their inquiries. That is unprecedented. But I think that
he better be flipping. And they better give him reason. A lot of good. He better help them with a lot of shit to things better work out well with his information. You know what I mean?
That's the only way which people can feel that this is transparent and that the royal family are coming down hard on this, because certainly I think it's been brushed under the carpet in years before.
Yeah, let me ask you a little more specifically about that, Kate. Accusations I've been hearing today that the royal family didn't do enough to hold him accountable for his behaviour.
Well, that, what we do know for sure, because, Miss Giuffre said it in her memoir, Nobody's Girl. She said that she was a part of her legal agreement with the palace. She wasn't allowed to speak about her allegations for Andrew in 2022, which was the year of the Queen's Jubilee. Now, the Queen passed in September of 2022, and so the King came to the throne, and we didn't see Ms. Giuffre talking about her allegations in 2022 after the King came to the throne. So one presumes that if that legal contract, I believe Virginia Giuffre that legal contract was in place, that it was continued, that when the King was on the throne, so at the very least he knew about that, and Ms. Giuffre was told not to speak out, and this was a condition of her the money that she received. So, how, that's a complicated question, isn't it? Putting that next to when the royals have said, oh, we saw Prince Andrew saying, right, Prince Edward.
And then there's this aspect that Epstein and his accomplices were said to be threatening death to victims, and so there's also this dynamic, who was behind the death threats that Virginia Giuffre had. Where were those people from? I mean, did the FBI or did any intelligence agency ever figure out who was doing that? I mean, yeah, who was doing it? Who was doing it? Who was doing that? Should be a big question people would want to solve and know. And people that were threatening her life, they shouldn't be allowed to get away with it. It's so sad. It's so sad.
Sorry, we saw Prince Edward saying quite recently, let's put the victims first when he was questioned. How do we sort of square that with that? So what did Charles know, and what did Charles know about the role of trade envoy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I appreciate you, Sarah. Sorry about that again, Sharonda. It's Sharonda. Sorry about that. Sharonda Rogers 7558. Yeah, I appreciate you. Next time you come on, hop on up to what state you from, Sharonda? Let me know what state you from. Yeah, everybody else that's listening. Oh, I know where everybody else is from. Yeah, let me know what state you from. I appreciate it.
Know about what was going on, and certainly it does seem as if the royal family knew about.
Oh, come on up, Tay.
The friendship with Epstein, that Andrew was friendly with Epstein, and you might think that our security services might have.
All right, I see you, Georgia. Peace to you.
Unsavory person to be friends with even before he was actually accused of,
Thanks for being so generous and forgiving me like a sport. I got you. I appreciate that.
Procuring a child for prostitution. You might think that the security services might have said, this is a very unfortunate man. You shouldn't really be friends.
What happened?
But okay. Andrew forged ahead, and the job of trade envoy, it was all a joke. It was in a sort of a joke at the time, wasn't it? Air Miles Andrew, people make a joke about all the flights he was always going on. And we know now from a lot of the research that he was personally, using some of these deals to personally enrich himself. That seems to be the case from Andrew Lowney's research in his book. But on top of that he was not just personally enriching himself and engaging with some pretty sort of dodgy people. At the same time, he was also potentially leaking information. I mean, you or I would be in severe trouble for that. I mean, we'd be fired from our organisations, and we would, be under criminal investigation. And that is what's happening to Andrew. And I think that the royal family, you can't just do the normal duties. You can't just do charity work and shake hands and go to hospitals. That's not going to be enough to distance themselves from this. They're going to have to make a stand. And I think, obviously the police, can't speak out during an actual criminal investigation. But I think we are going to see the royal family having to actually speak out, make a statement, and Andrew will have to himself make a statement, whether he's charged or not.
Yep. That's right. Let me see here. Let me go over to the Associated Press and see what they're doing about this. Okay, this is his home. This is what it looks like, y'all. Let me see here. Boom, 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 boom. I think we got Tay hopping up real quick. Let me see where Tay is also. Tay, you there? Yeah. Oh, okay. Let me turn this down. You there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, yeah. Now I can hear you. What's going on? Yeah, what's going on, man? Can you believe this?
I cannot. I can't believe that they call him. They call Andrew, and then Trump think that he just about to get by. Like he thought he was gonna put somebody under the fucking table, and no one is gonna get his back. Like they about to.
Yes. They about to get his ass.
He is fucked. I don't know.
Yeah. Way to go,
Yo,
UK. Way to go, UK.
for real.
Yay. I wish I knew one of
I was
those
just
UK
saying.
songs. Huh?
I was just saying the last time, like they're gonna end up trying to like one of these countries. They're gonna try to end up like infiltrating the information out of somebody or out of Americans
Oh,
without like no doubt. And guess what? It happened. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no. Well, you're seeing the flat out evidence that it happened, but you know it's been happening, and you know on more serious levels too, especially in our country. You know it's more serious.
Yes.
Whatever has been. I mean, come on. Trump left the White House the last time with nuclear secrets. Like, hey, fuck this, everybody, come on over to Mar-a-Lago and look at these nuclear secrets. So we know with Trump, it's been leaked. Like whatever is crucial to U.S. security has been leaked, and whatever hasn't been leaked, they working on getting it right now. We could assume that, you know, that's how I look at it, man. But I'm curious about, I would really like I know it's not easy to do this. I know military people can't really call up, but I would really like to hear from some military people called incognito. Don't say who they are, but just hear what they're, because it's really fucked up. I could imagine it's got to be really difficult being in the military right now and watching our own president and our own Department of Justice act and behave the way they do. It's got to be excruciatingly painful.
I did hear from who I am with. They told me that like basically how a lot of the soldiers don't feel like they don't feel like it's some of them, not all of them, but some of them don't feel like it's a point in serving like that because it's like they're hurting the people, the National Guard. They expect like they expected the National Guard to go ahead and hurt people, and then they didn't, and they had to go back home. And ICE came out, I guess, instead. And so I think now a lot of the soldiers are like, "Yo, like, why am I here? Like, what the fuck? If we signed the oath to like protect the people and everybody, then why are we antagonizing our own people? Like, or trying to? Why is our president representing that? Like,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
so,
Even our own criminals, have pride in the military. You know what I'm saying? even our own criminals have pride in the military, and now they done found a way to make everybody like, damn, not even, look at our own military like, what, y'all gonna come after us too? Like, what's going on here? Like, could that be possible? Could some of you follow that order? This man, but it was divide and conquer, and the first thing they needed to do was divide and conquer the military too. Like, make people, split up, make people adversaries that shouldn't even be adversaries for this little game of theirs to work. It's put the military against the people, and then that's going to split the military, obviously, because most of the military ain't going to be down with that. You see what I mean? So
yeah,
it's crazy. But go ahead. Sorry about that. I got you up here.
and
Go ahead.
It's a big surprise that like I don't know, like the military. It's not really that surprising since they took an oath, but like it's like now, like how I'm thinking is if anything else like escalates, it's gonna be the people and the military against the government.
I hope so. I fucking hope so.
I'm like, that's what I'm seeing is gonna happen, and the more and more people are like waking and becoming realistic to their like everyday life and what's going on, it's gonna be some crazy shit happening. I'm feeling it.
Yeah, okay. I hear you. Well, that's an interesting perspective. I also feel kind of like I feel really foul. I feel bad about it, man, because I'm like I just deep down inside I just feel like, damn, my father served in the military, and I'm just like, man, and my father was a damn fine artist. but he served in the military and then went to school with his degree, with his whatever that grant they give you for your education, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
And I'm like, damn, man, don't you know how many people serve in the military in our country? How many of us have family members that serve in the military? How many of us have parents that served in the military and or brothers or sisters that serve in the military? And now we have to look at this clown try to turn us all against each other for the benefit of his own goddamn family and his little billionaire circle, man. Man, I'm just like, who has the gall? Who would have the gall to do that? Like, I'm a firm believer in some lessons have to be taught. Some lessons have to be taught so that can never happen again. You know what I mean? Like, we got to show them a lesson.
I definitely understand because my uncle who had passed away, he also served, and I'm like, wow. It shows how many years that this shit has been persistent and how they've been taking advantage of everybody, and now everyone is just now paying attention. Like, no, y'all, come on now, because even from history, Americans would take away, well, not Americans, but I will say the government will take advantage of their soldiers, and now it's going on to to the people. I think it's actually been synchronized that we've been mistreated. I don't think it's anybody that's been better than the other in that sense. As far as when I look back in history, and I'm like, wow, now it's finally unfolding.
Right. Yeah, now it's finally unfolding. Yeah, we finally had somebody to really try to take it there. You know what I mean? All the way there. Yeah. Just and if you don't teach people like this a lesson, they will do this. That's the lesson I learned. You know, we give them too much slack. You know what I mean? We gave our politicians and these billionaires too much slack. We helped them too many goddamn times. We fought too many fucking wars for them. We've given them carte blanche on taxes. We've done everything a people could do for them. And look at what the fuck they do. They betray the American people, you know? So and that's what, go ahead. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
That's what the video I was watching, it was a popular person named Bailey Saran or whatever, and she does makeup, and she she came across cuckoo, but I got her message, she's like, what the fuck? We've been playing by the rules this whole entire time, and it's backfiring in every industry, in every aspect of the American living. What is going on?
Yeah, this shit kooky.
Well, we see it, but
it's kooky.
You know, yeah, it is.
Right, it is kooky.
It definitely is.
You know what? Did somebody? Rafika said she can't hear. Oh, let me just check the sound. I think it's fine.
Yeah, she said never mind.
Okay.
I'm I'm using my Beats, so
okay.
I'm trying to yeah.
All right. Yeah, it is. People been following the rules. People been been scraping and scratching and shit, following the rules. People have been struggling, but still following the rules. And they come out here and do this. Man, this is so shameful. And it's not that there weren't things that should have been done before, but that's no excuse for what this administration is doing. No other administration has gone this far with anything, nowhere close to it. And Trump has gone, he can't use nobody else as an excuse, man. That's so lame, but they've gone there, and we're going to see. It's really going to be a test for the American people. And but all I could say is that if we follow the direction of our allies and every other sane country on earth, we will know what to do, and we will come out stronger, because our allies believe their citizens should have health care, no matter how much money they got. Our allies believe their citizens should have access to any education they put their mind to, regardless of how much money they got. That's how our allies think. Now, what we going to do about it? You see what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's our turn. What the hell?
It's our
What
turn.
we gonna do to stand for this?
It's over.
for sure.
Them tax breaks are fucking over for the wealthy in the United States of America. They are fucking over, and we don't want to hear a goddamn one more thing about you can't get us this goddamn health care and fucking education for every kid that wants to go to fucking school. And if you keep talking shit, you're going to have to pay that. We're going to pay them a stipend to go to school like every other civilized Western nation does. You know what I mean? Like, we've been playing for a fool. We've been playing for fools.
Yeah, all these years competing in schools to go in schools, trying to get money to go in schools, then coming out ain't no job. Like what?
Yep.
What the fuck?
And you got Donald Trump.
And then you
the whole time everybody's been living that life for our whole lifetime. Then you got Donald Trump chasing around 13-year-old girls and shit.
Donald Trump and his goons, his clan.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck?
The mob squad threatening little girls and threatening little boys if they talk. It's like, what the fuck is going on with these people? And they even have the nerve to want to turn climate change against the average American. I mean, these people are off their rockers, man. I don't know what the hell they've been listening to, but it is really this is why I start to believe in MK Ultra at this point now, because MAGA and what they've been through is some serious brainwash. It's some serious brainwash that they up to. This shit that I've been hearing and these things, these theories, it's like, yo, man, you all have been taken through a mind fuck.
That's true. You keep people oppressed, they gonna keep on following the rules. It's been like I really do believe in the MK Ultra.
At this point, I do. It's called QAnon. It's called QAnon. QAnon is all that conspiracy shit. It's kind of true. It's just they aimed it at the wrong people. Because you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, somebody was getting that MK Ultra was kind of there's something to it, but now it makes perfect sense now that we got MAGA prevailing. There it is.
Shit is confirmed.
It's confirmed.
It's crazy.
That was true. MK Ultra was, there was some mind control being waged on fucking U.S. citizens, and it's called MAGA and QAnon. I mean, these people done falling off their goddamn rocker and shit. Oh my God. Anyway, pray for us, everybody. I can't even believe. I don't even feel sorry for the UK because I have myself as a U.S. citizen as a reference point. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy, right?
Yep. It's down bad down in America. It's terrible.
This dude is getting arrested, and I can't even feel bad for them. I'm like, because I'm worried about my own country and shit right now. It's like, damn.
Because ain't nobody getting arrested over this way, but it's people getting arrested and about to be questioned over that way. Like,
well, ain't nobody been arrested yet in the U.S., but we gonna find out.
Yeah,
because I just can't wait. I cannot wait. Because one thing I know about the American people, well, I'm not sure if I know. I thought I used to know, because I didn't think American people would put up with this much bullshit. I used to kind of think I knew, but I still do deep down in my heart. I believe once they all figure it out that they've been played, they will want vengeance. Once they figure it out.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Take a little time.
I really do think so, because I'm seeing people starting to talk out on the internet and shit. Like they really, because you know how censored like the internet's becoming,
right?
But it's still people that's willing to speak out on real issues, and they're like, okay, what's the plan? Right. What is going on? What's the plan? Like for real, what's the plan? Because this shit cannot go on any longer on every aspect. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. It is. Well, I'm happy to see people turn that corner, because we deserve it. We need it, man. We're not perfect, and we go through things, and we're not better than anybody else. But this thing is like we don't deserve this. You know what I mean? Like the average American person does not deserve this. We work way too fucking hard for people in the West. For those that don't know, in the Western world, Americans are known as the people that work more hours for the same outcome. for even less outcomes. We're the ones that are known for working our asses down to the bone. Like seriously, in the West, we're known for that. And for our wealthy class and these elitists to take us through this shit, yo, they're going to have to learn. They're going to have to learn. But we're going to have to make them learn. They're not going to learn if we don't give them no reason to learn. Like,
Shit. What to make them learn? Because I'm sick of their ass. Like, I've been, like, I don't know, ever since I was younger, I have been questioning the aspects of everything. And I don't know, I have a sibling that, you know, she follows the rules and stuff. And I'm like, something ain't right about this. And so I used to look at a bunch of conspiracy theories and a bunch of different things, and now that it's all coming into play, I'm like, yep, I wasn't crazy.
oh no, it's definitely something. Well, I'll put it to you this way: definitely something wasn't right for a while. Things haven't been fair in the United States. You know what I noticed about the difference? One of the differences I noticed about the EU and the US. In the US, we have our civil rights movement focused around color, right? Pretty much. And then we had some other aspects in there, but it was largely about big things like racial, quote unquote, race, who can use the water fountain, who can't, who can go to, separate schools, this kind of stuff. But the class civil rights movement didn't happen in the US. In Europe, the class civil rights movement happened in the 60s. It didn't happen in the US. So today, we made some progress in terms of some things, but the class progress we made, it's not there. We've lost that battle. And
we're behind.
Yeah, we behind, and so we need to get serious about that. This class warfare, and just recognize Europe had its class warfare moment, and it never goes away completely. People always vote, and you always fight for your rights, and it's always a new day at the voting booth, and you got to stay aware. But generally speaking, we didn't win that fight in the U.S. We didn't have a class struggle. This time we need to have a class struggle. I'm not saying put all the other things aside, because there's always these other things that play a role too. But we need to get real about this class struggle, because people need people deserve the basics, And right now we have middle class, and we even have poor people paying into a healthcare system through their taxes that they can't even access.
Yeah, definitely. Like, when you think about how many people have like emergencies in their health and they have to get a GoFundMe to, like, for them to compensate their issues, it's like, what is going on?
That's
why
totally,
is it like this?
Yep. And that is what that is the new healthcare policy of the United States of America. GoFundMe. That's fucking crazy. That is insane. That is insane. And we're going to see so many people out there doing it. Yeah. But anyway, Tay, what else you want to say? I'm going to let you get the last word, and I'm going to play a few more. Oh, you can stay on. You can stay on if you want. I'm about to drop some Hillary Clinton, because I know maggots hate her, and she just dropped a bomb on Trump. So I want to play some of Hillary Clinton's ass. Because listen, at the end of this day, everybody's got to testify, and the more people that testify is only going to leave Trump the missing link out there. Everyone going to be like, okay, motherfucker, everyone else has been testifying and they saying some shit. Now, when you go and testify,
for real, I'm so ready. I am so ready. I can stay on. I don't mind, because I'm looking on my phone as well.
Okay. All right. So let me see here. It's a couple of other crazy ass stories. Let's get into it. Hopefully, I hope with Andrew, I hope they squeeze every little piece of information out of his ass. And if he can help the United States of America, if he can help the everyday American citizen get our country back from this motherfucker Trump Trump sold out Prince Andrew. Don't ever forget that. Trump threw Prince Andrew under the bus, and the whole world saw it. Prince Andrew, you don't owe him a motherfucking thing. Yo, please help us get at him. Just like Trump said to Putin, will you release the Hillary emails? I'm going to say it to Andrew. Andrew, will you help the American people and drop whatever secrets you have on us so we can get this motherfucker in jail. Please, Andrew, can you help us? Please help us, man. Do something. Do something to, because anybody, and if he don't want to help, UK police, squeeze it out of him, please. We begging you, like, do anything you can.
Yeah.
Squeeze the information out of his ass.
Like I said, did you see that comment I made? I was like, off the Casino movie, when they get that dudes, they get the dude that's scamming in the casino and pull him to the back, and they start smashing his fingers.
Exactly.
Like, what's the information?
Yeah, you got to get that information. Yeah, because look, you got to understand that they have to understand that you don't know what Andrew told these motherfuckers. You don't know. He invited Epstein into the royal palace. That basically is a symbol that you probably told him every fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? You gonna let this motherfucker walk where your mama walks, man? Into your mama's house? Like, whoa.
No.
That is crazy. That is a very bad sign. So the MI5 and the other intelligence agencies, you know what you got to do. You know what you got to do. You gotta give up people, and you got to give up some people that actually work. There's some things he's got to help you get some other people in jail, like straight up. You got to find out who the stooges are. Like, so, and when you get a chance, help us. Yeah. All right. So let's see here. Who else is on this list here? Reveals the private life and chilling. Yeah. Let's see what Hillary got to say. And I'm only going here because I know MAGA people really hate Hillary Clinton. I don't know why. I don't know why they hate her, but I never really super liked her. But I didn't fucking hate her. What the hell? Sometimes I wonder, like, why do you hate? It's like misplaced anger. Like, I didn't like her just because I wasn't going to vote for someone whose husband has already served as president. I wasn't going to do that. I'm not into that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that was just my only thing. Now, I didn't super like her though, right? I didn't super like her. I just thought this dynasty shit I'm not with, and she's not that impressive to me. That's just my honest feelings. But I didn't fucking hate her. But these MAGA people fucking hate her. She's like a symbol. She's a symbol, and I'm
so they might hate her more than Kamala.
I can't.
Kamala.
I can't understand. I'm about to play me some Kamala because somebody on social media today on Facebook came out with the most hateful comment about Kamala, and the topic ain't has shit to do with Kamala. It's like the topic is Epstein, motherfucker. The topic is Epstein, and they talking about Kamala like she just destroyed, scorched earth, the United States of America. It's like, damn, what's wrong with these people, man? It's that
it's
MK.
The pedos.
It's that MK. It's that goddamn, what did they call that shit? MK what?
The MK Ultra.
Yeah, it's that QAnon MK Ultra, and then got to these people's brains. They hate, and that you asked the dude, okay, so why do you hate her so much? He couldn't even explain. He couldn't even find. And when they explain, it's always going to be the one thing. Well, she locked up men for smoking weed. These motherfuckers ain't even look into it to find out how real that is. They didn't even look into it. They just believed it because she's a lady. So, yeah, let's just believe it. But there was one thing about Hillary, and this shows you as a politician, being conservative in speech is better than just trying to rile up people. Because Hillary made a speech about men in the crime in the 90s, about the crime and monsters that came back to bite her in the ass politically. That speech, even though people were having problems, I grew up in the 90s. I was a young man in the 90s. In 85, I was 15. So when I was 20, it was 90. Right. So I know what all that time period was like. I lived through it all. You know what I mean? And so I know what it was like. And it was bad. People were tired of it. People saw their communities get destroyed by drug violence, drug gangs. We don't call them gangs in DC, but just our own citizens. And we saw that happen. We saw the Iran-Contra scandal happen. We saw all of that happen. So Hillary's mouth got her in trouble with the black community. I mean, calling people monsters instead of, but of course you can't call Ali North a monster. Nobody's going to call him a monster. You know what I mean? He got off. No one's going to call the people who put that Iran-Contra scandal together a monster, which is really some monstrous shit when you're trading weapons for cocaine and then flooding the U.S. streets with cocaine. Like, come on. You know what I mean? But that came back. That was one of the reasons why I didn't like Hillary. But still, to compare her to Trump and Epstein? Come on, just stop doing it. You know what I'm saying? Just stop doing it. Just stop doing it. You don't have to love the lady. She ain't perfect, but stop trying to use her as a reason for why you fucking voted for Trump, man. You voted for someone worse.
Yeah.
Like
Trump literally tearing down everything that he sees that's made already. Like, what the fuck? How can you hate someone that honestly, Kamala, her ass, when she was telling the truth already, she already knew what the fuck was about. And then no one listened. They voted for Trump. And now here we go. We're in the biggest shit show ever. And now we finding out about goons and goblins.
Goons and goblins. Yeah, we're finding out all about it and shit. They even had, we're going to hear from Hillary. And I'm especially going to play this to illustrate this point because they were saying Hillary was on Epstein Island drinking baby blood. That's what MAGA was saying. That's what QAnon was saying. That's what they were saying. So release the files. Where is it at? I asked one guy, and I'm not trying to harp on him. He's a okay guy, but he used to come on the channel from time to time, and he was saying this. He said, and I asked him, where did you see it? Where? Just tell me where. Give me the information. Where's the link? Where did you see it? I want to see it. You saying Hillary Clinton drank baby blood? I want to see it. Show me the link. And he wouldn't dare give me the link because he knows that if he showed me the link, I would laugh at this shit. You know what I mean? Like you have to learn how to read between the lines. You have to, first of all, I already seen the video once that everybody talks about. And there's no way in hell you could say that's Hillary Clinton unless you wanted to fucking believe it. Because the video is shot from behind. It's a black and white video that's shot from behind. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way they saying that's evidence.
Yeah, it's Hillary Clinton.
Okay.
People still say.
All right now.
Now I have to admit the haircut kind of looked like a haircut Hillary used to have, but to put your whole, just to say, you know what, this is why I'm voting for Trump and not Hillary, because I saw a videotape. I didn't see her face. I can't really prove that's her. I didn't even, that's like saying I saw a black man with a hoodie. It must have been him. That's what it's like.
It must have been the culprit.
I saw I saw a black man with a hoodie. Here's one. It must have been him who did it. That's the same argument they used it about this video at Hillary Clinton.
Red Nikes, black shoes. That was him.
Yeah, straight up, man. It's like she had the same haircut. She had a Hillary Clinton haircut. You know what I'm saying? White lady with a Hillary Clinton haircut. Must have been her. And they, it's like, so they about to get Hillary's ass up here because apparently Hillary's not afraid of testifying. So let's hear.
U.S. presidential candidate Hillary Clinton says she believes Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and anyone with any information about the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein should testify before Congress. In a BBC interview, Mrs. Clinton also said she and her husband, Bill Clinton, want their forthcoming testimony about Epstein to be public. The couple had previously refused to testify to the Epstein inquiry and were threatened with contempt proceedings. Former President Bill Clinton appears several times in the Epstein files that were released by the U.S. Justice Department last month. Mr. Clinton knew Epstein but has denied having any knowledge he was a sex offender and says he cut off contact with him 2 decades ago. Bill Clinton will appear in Congress for a deposition on the 27th of February and Hillary Clinton is set to appear the day before. Our Europe correspondent Jessica Parker sat down with Mrs. Clinton.
Hillary Clinton, thank you for talking to BBC News. I want to start off talking about the case of Jeffrey Epstein. Mm-hmm. You say you never met Jeffrey Epstein. Clearly your husband did know him the former president says he knew him before his crimes came to light. But there are also associations with Ghislaine Maxwell, including in 2013 when she was a guest at a Clinton Global Initiative event, years after allegations had emerged against her. What I want to know is, do you regret the links that there have been between Epstein, Maxwell, and the Clinton family?
Well, let me start by saying that a law was passed in Congress to require that all the files that have anything to do with them be released. And what we're seeing, I think it's fair to say, is a continuing cover-up by the Trump administration. In fact, when the Attorney General testified last week, it was quite a scene because she refused to answer questions. She diverted attention away from the matters at hand. She refused to look at the survivors. So there's something about this administration's attitude toward this, which I think...
You know, and here's the thing. When you look at her face, she looks kind of confident. You know, she looks confident. When you look at her face, she looks confident, right? She looks kind of confident.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, okay. You got your volume on in background, Tay. She looks confident. When you look at her face, she looks confident, right? She's confident.
Yeah.
You know? You got to pause your audio in the background. Oh, okay. Let me play it. Let me. Don't worry. I see what you're doing. Yeah. So let me continue. She looks confident, and she doesn't look like somebody who's scared of some kind of truth coming out. So let me play this a little more.
think really leads us to conclude they have something to hide. We don't. We have been willing to say whatever we know. We've even done it under oath. But they want us to testify, not everyone else who's mentioned many, many times, hundreds of thousands of times in these files. So we've said, fine, let us do it in public. And we will appear in public and we'll answer all your questions.
And we'll get to that in just a moment. But just to be clear, do you regret the links that there have been?
You know, we have no links. We have a very clear record that we've been willing to talk about, which my husband has said. He took some rides on the airplane for his charitable work. I don't recall ever meeting him.
Did you ever meet Ghislaine Maxwell?
I did on a few occasions, and thousands of people go to the Clinton Global Initiative. So it to me is not something that is really at the heart of what this matter is about. They are accused, and in both cases were convicted of horrific crimes against girls and women. That should be the focus. And we are more than happy to say what we know, which is very limited and totally unrelated.
Where are the MAGA experts? I want a QAnon expert up here to hop up and tell me, where is the tape? Like, what did she do? What did her and Bill Clinton really do? Don't just tell me, yeah, she was on the initiative, or yeah, she was on the island. Tell me exactly what's going to be revealed about her activities in the Epstein files. That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. If she's lying, tell me what it is she did, and tell me that it's in the Epstein files. And listen, Trump, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, all of you, why don't you release anything that you have on the Clintons? I don't understand that. Like, just release it. Just release it. You don't need my permission. You can release it. She's your op. You don't like Hillary Clinton. She is your op. Why aren't you releasing the information on your op? You were already told to release all the files. Yeah. Anyway, I just had to say that. So.
To their behavior or their crimes. And we want to do it in public because let's make this transparent. The survivors deserve that. The public deserves that. But you know, the Republican member of Congress who is running this hearing or this investigation is trying to protect the president. So let's get to what's really at stake here.
Yeah, she's basically saying, we here. What's up? Bring it on. She's like, come on. She's like, come on, you, you maggots.
Just on this hearing, and obviously, I'm
She
sure Donald
ready.
Trump and his
She ready
administration.
to get them people for real.
She's like, yo, you was talking all this shit about me the whole time. Okay, all right. Well, how come you haven't released nothing yet? They're like, yeah, well, too late now. Come on, we want all the smoke, you know? So yeah, I say, why not? I'm not trying to protect nobody. If they say they got smoke for Hillary Clinton, I'm like, come on, bring it on. Where y'all at, maggots? Come on, bring it on, man. Here's your chance. She's calling your bluff.
She would reject your character.
Go ahead. What? What'd you say? Say, was you trying to say something? Okay, let me let it rock.
Of what's going on, and he's denying
How
any
can they
knowledge.
reject it?
I'm trying to, since I'm watching on my phone, it's like it's a delay. But
Okay, I got you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay. Did you want to say something? It's a delay, y'all. All right, so I'm gonna proceed now.
Your questions, and the Attorney General was clearly
not yet. I want to watch the full thing so I can get my full process ready.
Answer questions. She works for him. So let's be very clear here.
Hold on, let's hear this part again. Check this out. Make my day. Exactly. Come on.
He's denying
How
any
can they
wrongdoing.
reject it? They can't answer questions, and the Attorney General was clearly unwilling to answer questions. She works for him. So let's be very clear here. According to what we now know, Mr. Trump, President Trump, is mentioned, some say, 1 million times in the files.
People say he is mentioned. Is it humanly possible that you can be mentioned 1 million times in the Epstein files, and none of those times are you raping and pillaging? Is that possible? What are the odds? I mean, it's very obvious. And, you know, there is some kind of funny dynamic going on here, because I'm almost thinking Biden kind of knows. See, part of me feels like there's some people in the U.S. military and in the U.S. government that knew what's in those files before Trump knew. I'm almost sure. You know what I mean? In some kind of sick, fucked up way. You know what I mean? Like it's playing a dangerous game, but it's just starting to make me think like somehow they know that it's Trump, who all the evidence is about Trump, and they like
it just starts.
And they're like,
you know,
if people want to vote for this,
I don't know if it's gonna be a delay, but you know,
go ahead.
You say that it was people who knew in the military, I don't doubt so, because it was this questionable, well, not questionable, but this video, this guy trying to say how basically, how Charlie Kirk's death was set up, and he was a ex military person trying to figure out like his I guess his it was something about his disability or his payment he was trying to figure out, and he was there. And he has seen, like, I guess he has seen Charlie Kirk's wife.
Oh, really? Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening. You still there? All right. Something.
So yeah, he has seen Charlie Kirk's wife, and he said that I guess his reason because her eyes, and she had blonde hair. I wish I could know the dude who was explaining that, but I was looking, and he was saying how he believed that, you know, the Pentagon and all of them had just set it up for this to happen and for her to have that whole turning point thing. I don't know how true it is. Okay. I don't want to spread no misinformation, but I seen that video. If I could find that video, I would definitely share the link to you.
Yeah, you find it for me. But I'm see, what I was getting at was something else. I'm starting to think that I don't know about Charlie Kirk, but I do find it suspicious. Like something is what I find suspicious about Charlie Kirk is they done forgot about his ass that fast. He's gone. They're not talking about him anymore. Like, and I find that very, very suspicious. Yeah, that seems almost on purpose to not talk about him anymore, because he was there shining, light. You know what I mean? And for him to die, be murdered, and then now you would think they would be pressing an outcome. You would think there would be more conversation about what happened around this case, right? But there's no conversation. It's done. They're not even speculating nothing. The guys are going to wait for his trial, and there's nothing else that came up. But we're going to find out. But what I was getting at with this military thing, or and others, I'm just thinking that this somehow other people knew that Trump is all up in these files. Somehow there's others that had to know Trump has been accused of these things. And I'm just curious, if they somehow had an idea how this was going to play out for Trump, that somehow, that's what I'm thinking, that it was a ticking time bomb for Trump. And I'm just thinking there's other people that know what's up with his scam, Epstein scam, Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, all of their scams, this whole charade. I'm starting to think that, although, hey, it's just, again, it's a madman's game, because for me, I would if all these things, then for me it would be damn, the American people are hurting. Spare us all of this shit, But maybe it's not that simple. Maybe we don't have a mechanism in our Constitution that allows us to forego this kind of stuff. Maybe it is that way. Maybe the mechanism is the fact that we're supposed to have better representatives that pick better Supreme Court justices that want to be fair, not just fair towards one party, but just fair towards everybody. You know what I mean? Maybe that's the lesson in this, because if you don't have a Supreme Court that is willing to pull the plug on somebody who's obviously committed crimes and just say the Constitution says you can't run. If you don't have a Supreme Court that says, hey, if you play a part in an insurrection, you cannot be president. Fuck, if you win the election, you still can't be. We didn't have a Supreme Court that did that. And I think that might be what the problem is. And so therefore it shoots back down to the American people. The American people got to vote again. And it's damn, do we have to wait months of this psychopath and these lunatics in the White House? Do we have to wait months to fucking vote so you mean any impending harm he brings to us, we have to live through until we can impeach these people, until we have enough votes to impeach? I mean, then we got to impeach some of the Supreme Court justices too, right away, because some of them are down with this shit, But in any case, let me play more of the lady they love to hate, Hillary Clinton. Ha ha ha.
People in his cabinet are. That's what it says, on the internet over and over again. So let's find out what the truth is. That's why we want it to be transparent and in public.
On that, your upcoming appearance before the Oversight Committee, where are we with that? You want to appear in public versus closed-door deposition. Is it going ahead, and how? What is the format going to be?
We will show up, but we think it would be better to have it in public, because what we want is for everybody to get to the facts about this. We have nothing to hide. We have called for the full release of these files repeatedly. We think sunlight is the best disinfectant. Get the files out. They are slow walking it. They are redacting the names of men who are in it. They are stonewalling legitimate requests from members of Congress. That has nothing to do with us. Something is going on. They know it. I know it. If they're going to have me testify, I would prefer to do it in public, because I want everybody to see it at the same time. If I have to do it behind closed doors, they're not going to like what I have to say, because I have very strong opinions about what it is they're hiding. And
yeah, see, that's what I think too. Why does everybody got to go in secret? Why are they all scared to just testify in the public? It is about our country. That is the obligation of any of them, to speak in public. At this point, when you're dealing with treason, you're dealing with corruption on this level, when you're dealing with the biggest espionage and blackmail scheme and sex trafficking scheme in the country's history, nah, man, you just got to do it in public. The public needs to be able to judge you.
And who they are protecting.
I just want to ask you, there are calls for another individual who denies wrongdoing to go before Congress on this matter. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, formerly Prince Andrew. Do you think he should testify?
I think everybody should testify. Look,
including the former prince?
I think everybody should testify who is asked to testify. I just want it to be fair. I want everybody treated the same way. That's not true for my husband.
Damn, she said everybody testify. She ain't playing. She said, I'm with it.
Yeah, she said she with it. She definitely with it. And I have to just say that's the only way to be about it. Why shouldn't it be fair? Why shouldn't it be everybody testify in public according to the same rules, right? So why can't it be that way? And I don't see why anybody would disagree with that, you know? And obviously it's not a lot of maggots in here today, or Trump supporters here right now. I guess they didn't, you know, the timer didn't go off on this stream for them. They don't know. It's somehow I've evaded their fucking radar this time. But in any case, she's letting it be known. And again, I told people straight up, like, she's not the most likable character. She's letting it be known. Again,
you keep escaping the maggots because, like, I don't know, they're scared now. You have too many truths in the lies, and now they can't argue against anything because it's not ignorant.
Oh shit, yeah, damn, I gotta stop doing that. I need to learn how to give them a chance. But I think this bait they can't really help. It's Hillary Clinton. I'm gonna bring her out some more. But check this out. I mean, the idea of it being fair, she's saying everyone should do it in the open. Even if I don't like her, even if you don't like her, how could you disagree? You see what I'm saying? Like, how could anyone disagree with this right here, what she said?
On this matter, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, formerly Prince Andrew. Do you think he should testify?
I think everybody should testify. Look,
including the former prince?
I think everybody should testify who is asked to testify. I just want it to be fair. I want everybody treated the same way. That's not true for my husband and me, because other witnesses were asked to testify. They gave written statements under oath. We offered that. They want to pull us. Why did they want to pull us into this? To divert attention from President Trump. This is not complicated. This is so obvious, and they keep trying to divert. Look at this shiny object. We're going to have the Clintons, even Hillary Clinton, who never met the guy. We're going to have her there. Let's focus on what's really happening here. You have an attorney general and a Justice Department attempting to hide information that should be made public.
You know, and it's interesting because, again, anything about the Epstein files, if there was something in it about Bill and Hillary Clinton, why wouldn't they just release it? Why can't they just release it? You see what I mean? So it just means like, okay, maybe there is nothing there about them because, yeah, you know, doesn't Pam Bondi hate Hillary Clinton? Doesn't Kash Patel have it out for the Clintons? Didn't Trump, you know, already put them out there and say Clinton have something to answer for? Well, then let us see the files. I think that's really what it comes down to.
I feel like, and even then, if they were in there, like that will have to, like, everyone's information will have to be exploded if they put out one. That's why I feel like partly, like, Andrew, you know, he got arrested and he can't really, like, leak out everything, because I feel like on, I guess, the Republican side, they know if they leak out anyone else's dirt, it's on their ass, like, as far as the files.
Right. Yeah, I got you. It's true. That's another component. It's like Andrew is a wild card. Well, not really a wild card, but I mean, but he is a wild card in the sense that people don't know what he has to say. Right. And if he's smart, he will, to save his own ass, he will snitch on, you know, whoever he needs to be snitching on. Right. And I would imagine that would be Trump, because Trump threw his ass under the bus. I mean, it's very clear. And on top of that, you don't have pictures. I mean, they got pictures of Andrew. Trump's DOJ put out pictures. Trump's DOJ put out pictures of Andrew on his knees over a little girl. they basically threw that man to the wolves. You know what I'm saying? They threw him to the sharks. He was like, here, you can have him. Right now, they didn't do that to Hillary Clinton. They didn't do that to Bill Clinton. So, it seems kind of like he's going to get, it seems like he's going to have to get some get back. It just makes sense to me. And why they wouldn't release information on Hillary Clinton, I have or Bill Clinton. I can only guess that they don't have any. That's all I can guess. I don't know of any other thing that makes any sense, because a whole lot of shit about Trump is being leaked right now. A whole lot of shit about Trump is being leaked right now. I mean, Trump can't help himself. Even just the emails and shit. Even the small mentions about Trump are devastating to this man's persona. Not that his persona was that great either and shit. He's foul. He's known to be a foul man, but it's only getting worse and worse and worse. And yet they still haven't put something out about Hillary or Bill. It's just, they have that one picture of Bill Clinton with a, it looks like a young woman in the swimming pool, in the sauna or something. No, not in the sauna, the jacuzzi. And that's it. Now, I'm not saying that's not bad enough, because for me, I think as a man, you got to be smarter than that. Like, and I do feel like, man, come on, dude. You a married man. You're a married man, bro. You're a married man. What the fuck are you doing? So I'm not really trying to give him a pass on that. But somehow it just seems like, wouldn't they put out something worse than that if they had it? Like, so yeah, either way, we're going to find out. It looks like it's heating up right about now. It's enough to where it ain't going back in the bag. That's the good thing.
That's true. They would probably put out some damning evidence about, like, around this time, and the fact that they were still staggering, as she said in the video, about, like, even answering questions and everything simplistic. I really think on his side, on Donald Trump's side, is some really, really dark, crazy shit that's in there. Like, that it's even more like how many? It's like, how many? Isn't it 3 million files? So 1 million more files. It's probably like really deep and hot shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and look at her eyes. I mean, from what I pick up of her body language too, because I like to watch people's body language when they're in front of the camera. It's important to do that, right? Because this is an important moment. She knows she's going on camera, and so she knows that this is high stakes, right? This is high stakes. So when I look at her body language, to me, it tells me she knows something about what is going to be revealed about Trump. And she seems very, very confident. That's all I can say. Her face does not look like a woman who is not damn sure, steadfast, wanting this thing now at this point. Like yeah.
I agree. I completely agree.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. There we have it. Let's see some more now. Let's see what she got to say. Come on, Hillary. Do your thing, girl.
Many people have said, being in the Epstein files does not mean that you've done anything wrong. But speaking for yourself.
I hate when they say that. Why do they always have to say that? Being in the Epstein files doesn't mean you did anything wrong. Yeah, we fucking know. We understand that. We all get it. Everyone knows that. That's how the law works. But still, it's not a good look, And we it just seems so weird that they have to explain that all the time. We're grown-ups. We know that being in the files doesn't mean you did anything at all. It just doesn't mean that. It means it is what it is. What they find is what it is what they can find. It doesn't mean just being in the files. That's insulting to a lot of people's intelligence, I think. Like, we can tell the difference from a person who's just mentioned incidentally from a person that's doing some activity they shouldn't be doing,
For your family, what was your reaction when you saw some of the material that has been released? I'm thinking, for example, of images of your husband apparently in a hot tub in a swimming pool on Epstein's plane. What was your reaction to that? And do you know the context surrounding some of those images?
Absolutely. And it wasn't a hot tub on a plane. It was one of the stops they made to look at philanthropic and charitable work that my husband has done, saving literally millions of lives around the world. It turned out that was done long before there was any public awareness and certainly any conviction of any crime by Jeffrey Epstein. So it was a short period of time that was in pursuit of charitable philanthropic work. A lot of people were traveling at the same time. Many staff members, guests, other supporters of the foundation. If Bill and I had a penny for every person we've taken pictures with, we would be extremely rich today.
Yeah, well, all that may be true, and I do understand that that could very well be true, and a lot of it is true. I believe her on the idea that the photographs were before he was convicted of anything, right? But still, this thing about I'm sorry, but for me, I think every woman deep down in her heart knows that if you see your husband in a jacuzzi with another woman and that woman's body is touching him, that something is happening that's not supposed to be happening. I mean, that's my advice. I don't know if you all agree with that in the chat. Now, that doesn't make you a pedophile, right? We don't know how old. I don't know how old the person was. If it was an adult, I don't know, because it's hard. They have the face redacted and things like that. I don't know anything about that. But those are important questions to ask. But still, even if it's an adult, I'm sorry, and of course, it's not a crime. Infidelity is not a crime, right? Is that another thing people need to be told? Hey, did you know infidelity is not a crime, y'all? But and I even have to say that's crazy in itself. But it's not a crime. It's not a criminal act, right? But still, it's a sign of like that. It just means like, hey, man, you're pretending to be something you're not now. Like, that's not a cool thing when you're supposed to be out there for the people. That's all I'm saying. And that's definitely a bad look, given the fact that these pictures were taken, in Epstein's company. Like, sorry, man, you got to make better decisions than that. But still, yeah, we'll see, Hillary. We'll see how that goes. But I give her credit for going out there in the public. Let me see here. Sharon says, suspect, how long has the network been in play? Well, that's a good question. That network has been in play. Well, she says suspected of a crime. Is that the word she used? Let me just listen to that one more time. Let's see.
A lot of people were traveling at the same time. Many staff members, guests, other supporters of the foundation. If Bill and I had a penny for every person,
let me take it
short
back.
Period of time, done long before there was any public awareness and certainly any conviction of any crime.
Okay, she said conviction. So, right, and that's not the same as suspected, right? But this is conviction. I mean, look, Jeffrey Epstein, according to people that accused him, that started in '84. According to Sasha Riley, and according to at least two other people that have made accusations, that are inside of the Epstein files. So, I don't know what year that picture was taken of Bill Clinton. That looks like the 90s, right? And if I'm correct, Epstein was 97, right? When he was charged or something like that. 97. No, not 97, 2007, right? So, yeah, it was a long time. That's spanning over 4 decades, damn near, the operation. So, and from what I hear, this was very well organized back in the 80s. It wasn't just like a small little unorganized operation. From Sasha Riley's from his words, it sounds like it was already a honeypot espionage scheme set up a long time ago and very large, like moving around from town to town, like you're dealing with billionaires. And Sasha Riley said it was 4 billionaires. Trump was one of them. And they said that Epstein was his subordinate. So, I mean, people don't know. But listen, I don't have all the exact details, and I'm not claiming to know. I'm just telling you what I can remember pretty much. But it still remains to be seen. Nobody knows. No one knows what what Clinton was doing that day. Nobody knows. We're going to find out, though. There's obviously more information that's going to come out about that at some point. But the question still remains. If there is more information, why the hell ain't they releasing it? Why aren't they releasing it? If it's in the Epstein files, they have it. Couldn't they? You mean to tell me they don't have a directory where you can, they don't have it cataloged, the Epstein files, where you can just go in and type in Clinton like a library and get all the mentions of Clinton? Anything, a picture, a piece of paper with his name on it, a videotape with his name, that has him in it, a photograph that has him on it, just a transmission of any type, just something this belonged to Clinton, Clinton headphones left at Epstein's house, just something, right? And it just seems to me like the only way that information is not coming out at this point is if they can't find any. That's all it seems to me. And if you can't, and look at Epstein's own words. I mean, did Epstein even try to clear Bill Clinton in his emails? I mean, I think that's also something that's there too. But, hey, let's go.
By Jeffrey Epstein. So it was a short period of time that was in pursuit of charitable philanthropic work. A lot of people were traveling at the same time. Many staff members, guests, other supporters of the foundation. If Bill and I had a penny for every person we've taken pictures with, we would be extremely rich today.
Let's move on to what we're seeing. You've just come from the Munich Security Conference, and a lot of people are talking about the idea of a new world order. I'm interested in your thoughts. In terms of transatlantic relations between Europe and the United States, do you think they have permanently shifted, that there is no going back to the way things were before?
Well, I think time will tell whether we are going to support the rule of law, support the strong alliances that were forged through and after World War II, create an area of peace and security in the transatlantic or not. And as I said in Munich, I think that comes down to whether or not the people in America turn out, Donald Trump and Republicans, who are more concerned about Putin than they are about democracy, and whether Europe stands against efforts to undermine the ties amongst European nations in favor of the rule of law, in favor of peace and security, and against Putin. So I'm hoping that the answers are the right answers. I'm hoping that people in Europe and people in the United States will stand up for universal values that have actually protected our peace and security now for more than 80 years.
Yeah, I see that comment. He's talking about Hugh Hefner's house, right? I mean, if there's legitimate information, if there's information to be put out about, see, this is the thing. Whatever it is that's there, that they have, whatever's there that they have, sorry about that, whatever's there that they have, people need to just put out there, it's one thing to hear a story, right? And this is what I think people need to be cautious of. Stories. When you hear a story, you take one person's word for it. No, it should never just be a story. There needs to be other corroborating evidence that backs up the story. Now, I'm not saying there wasn't any sex trafficking going on at Hugh Hefner's house. Obviously, I'm not saying that because the man, obviously he's a Playboy dude. You know what I'm saying? So obviously he's probably, knowing men and knowing Los Angeles, California, right? Not just Los Angeles, California at that time, especially. I mean, it's obvious that Hugh Hefner got some secrets that's there with Playboy. But I mean, come on, we went through this thing with QAnon where there's so many stories, and these stories made everyone, they made Kamala Harris into a demon. They talked about her great-great-grandfather being a slave master. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. They lied about the lady. They said her name, she got her name because her great-great-great-grandfather was a slave master. That was a goddamn lie. Who makes up lies like that just to win? You know what I mean? So we need to be cautious about, separating stories from factual information, right? Corroborated information, and that's all I'm saying. So if Hillary Clinton or Bill Clinton got anything to do with anything else, I think, of course, it should be put out there. And people should see it. It's no reason to not put it out there, but that's the name of the game. Who's going to put it out? And I think if you just say, hold on, especially in this point, if you just say someone's done something, it's almost going to get worn out, because that's already happened time and time again. We've kind of lived through that the last 10 years. Now people want they want real corroborated information. So I think that's where we're moving to, because this QAnon moment has been huge in the U.S. I mean, that has basically affected the election cycles. It's affected how people pick leadership. I mean, they came out and they said Obama was gay, right? Isn't that what they said about Obama? First, they started off with the birther thing, right? Because that was a story. He doesn't have a birth certificate. He right, but he's still an American citizen because he's born in Hawaii, and they don't give the same kind of birth certificates. He has the type that they give you in Hawaii. So this is how they start manipulating it. Then they said he's gay. That's another story. Then you hear about that forever. You hear about that forever. At some point, we got to start calling people on their bluffs. If they know something, prove it. And if they don't, and if they can't really, and I don't mean I'm not just saying that to poke fun at the fact that there are things that are generally known by everybody because it's already been proven, and so people know it to be true. But when we're making certain accusations, we should want to know ourselves where we got the information from and be able to display it also. So I myself, I heard about P. Diddy in the tunnels in California, in that neighborhood. I don't know who else is involved in that or was involved in it, but I think whoever it is needs to go to the police and give them all the information. Hey, is there a Hugh Hefner file? Let's see the files. That's basically what I'm saying. Release the files on Hugh Hefner too. So in any case, let's go on. But I hear your point. I mean, there could be. They also said Les Wexner is involved in other trafficking schemes. That's what they said too. So there's definitely more schemes out there, for sure.
If you look at the United States, would you still say it is a country that can be seen as the leader of the free world?
Well, it appears that Donald Trump wants to be the leader, but not necessarily of a free world. He is very enamored of Vladimir Putin, who is a dictator, brutal
He's also criticized
dictator.
him at times.
Donald Trump has never criticized Putin. You can go
His
back.
handling of
No,
Ukraine.
you can go back and look, because many of us have done it, looking for one moment. He said, come on, he needs to solve this. He needs to. And what do we now hear? That he and Putin want to profit off the death and misery of the Ukrainian people. So is that a leader? Well, I suppose if you count it in terms of military power, we are still the leader, but are we the leader in values? Are we the leader in bringing people together? Are we the leader in trying to create hope and opportunity? I think that's an open question.
Someone MJ said that wasn't the problem with Kamala. Yes, it was the problem with Kamala. You people went out there and you spread information where you lied about Kamala Harris. That's what you did. And she was the first woman to ever in the history of your country's life ever serve as the vice president. And you all went out there and you fucking lied about her. And you even brought up slavery as one of the fucking lies. That's insulting. That was idiotic. That is stupid. And you need to acknowledge what you did. Not you personally, but goddamn well that's what a lot of them FBA'ers were doing. So stop playing games with me. Now, the second thing is, and I'm just keeping it real. The second thing is that now you say, MJ, you saying that the issue was Obama and Biden, they had 12 years to do something for FBA and they wouldn't. Listen to me. First of all, I need to really be careful about. Let me just look at your profile, man, for a second. You know, because sometimes there's people pretending like they other people, you know, when they ask these kind of questions. And it's very important that I understand that I'm talking to an actual African American. You know what I mean? Like, for real. Okay, this account was made June. I'm just going to show everybody who's asking this question because this is very relevant. This is who's asking the question right here. A person with this profile whose account is 2 years old is asking me this question, saying that the problem wasn't Kamala Harris, even though we know these FBA people did make that a problem. Tariq Nasheed went out there and spread all that stuff too, right? Yes, he did. They went out there and they said lies about the lady, okay? But I'm supposed to assume that this is an African American. Okay, well then that's what I will assume, right? Unless you tell me otherwise, MJ. But listen, the issue, you got to follow closer. You got to follow closer. Stop being so myopic. Stop being so myopic, because the truth of the matter is that you should be paying attention to a number of things, not just who the damn president is. Okay? You know, and secondly, do you really think that an executive order can't be fought in the Supreme Court? Do you really think? Because pay attention, they get fought in the Supreme Court and knocked down at times by this right-wing Supreme Court. They even knocked down some of Trump's shit, and they love Trump. But the issue is they hate fucking Obama. Didn't you know that? Be aware enough, MJ. See, you joined the Supreme Court, the right-wing Supreme Court, in condemning any type of reparative justice for anyone in the country. See, that's what you all did. And this is not a thing about FBA, because some FBA is smart, some are goddamn dumbasses. So you can't just hide behind a theme and expect that to work. You're still an individual. And so here's the thing. If you followed what went on in the country beyond just one myopic thing, right, you would notice that a lot of the bills that they tried to pass, that they got passed in Congress, I'm talking about Biden and Harris, by the way, let's give her some credit too, that got passed in Congress, got passed in the Senate, went and got signed by President Biden, went to the Supreme Court and got shot down. One of those was reparative justice for minority farmers that also include African American farmers. That was shot down by the right-wing Supreme Court. So whose side did you take on that? Did you even watch the hearings? Did you even know it? Because if you know it, you're supposed to say it. You can't say what you don't know. That's why I'm saying it, and that's why you didn't say it. So start paying attention. And there's a lot of issues like that that go on in the U.S., man. They're fought on different levels. You know, you have congressional, you got the Congress, you got the Senate, you got the executive branch, but then you also have the Supreme Court. And if you're not paying attention, student debt relief. Are any African Americans looking for student debt relief? MJ, think about it. I'm talking to you, MJ. Are any African Americans? Can any FBA that went to university, could they use some student debt relief, MJ? Well, if you paid attention, it wasn't Biden who stopped that. If you paid attention, it wasn't Obama who stopped that. It was the right-wing Supreme Court that hates fucking Obama, that hates fucking Kamala Harris, and hated fucking Biden. So again, stop with the myopic shit. And then on top of it, listen, you know, you have to understand that if you think that only your politics matters in a democracy, you are fucking wrong. You need to learn how to ally up, communicate, and navigate. That's what a lot of you FBAs haven't figured out to do. You let other people like MAGA use you as a group. That's what Tariq Nasheed did. He teamed up with MAGA and let you all be their patsies. That's not being a proud black man or proud black woman. You should be goddamn ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of your fucking self. You think people can't see right through what you all did? Yeah, what you all did was you thinned out the vote and you supported Trump. That's what you fucking did. You just say you thinned, and you actually voted for a pedophile, most likely, than you would for a woman that had way more of a record than Trump ever had. You gave your support to goddamn Trump. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, there you go. I mean, yo, here you go. I'm just spitting facts. Those are the facts. You know, so yeah, and you should be ashamed of that, because FBA, you know, if you want to talk about Obama, he ain't do nothing for FBA. His job ain't to do anything for FBA. Who told you that? Did he run on that? No, he didn't. Did MAGA tell you that? Did MAGA tell you Obama is elected to do something for FBA? No. He's supposed to serve everybody. So he can make an executive order, you know, but I'm not saying you shouldn't be frustrated, but I'm saying you got to be smarter than that too. Even when you're frustrated, you know, you still got to be smarter than that. You know, don't let people play you. You see what I mean? And you did. Secondly, let's be honest, most African Americans, you know, I don't have a problem with talking about FBA, but let me tell you, that movement, y'all looking like y'all getting played, like straight up. I'm just saying that it's your movement. I ain't going to tell you. You want to call yourself a FBA? You want to separate from other African people? You want to separate from other folks? You want to sit up here and let a president turn the baton against Latinos and say, it ain't my fault. It ain't my fault. You want to let them turn a baton against other people? I mean, is that really what you good for? Is that really what you good for? That's supposed to be proud African American stance on shit? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. And I'm glad you're here, because now we get a chance to talk about this shit. You know what I'm saying? There's the link. You can hop up. It's on Discord. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. You know, you know, anybody can call themselves FBA, but it's what you do with it. And what Tariq Nasheed did with it, he's a fucking imbecile. You know, just flat out. He's a goddamn imbecile. And I would even say he's a fucking sellout. I'm just saying it. It's my opinion. You know, it's my opinion. You know, you have to have some small ass brains to follow that bullshit. And let me tell you, the disinformation that he's on, there's always a little tiny bit of truth wrapped in a big lie. So they always have that little bit of truth to get you to accept the rest of the lie. And your position is that Trump is beating your ass up. He's taking your mama and your daddy's health care from them because you were too stupid to see he was setting you up on the bigotry lane. You're not African. You don't have no connection to no other African in America. You don't share no history with no Caribbean people. You don't share no history with nobody. That's, you know, you guys are really the motherfucker who wanted to live in the house. That's really what it is. It's me, massa. Me, only me. I'm the good nigga on the plantation, massa. Yo. Well, I'm not the good nigga, okay? I'm the one who's gonna call that shit out. I'm not begging massa for shit. Fuck Trump. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And if I'm going to stand with the Caribbeans, I'm going to stand with it and still be who I am. I'm not going to fucking turn my back on them just to get a little fucking biscuit. A biscuit that you didn't even fucking get. You know, that's insane. That's insane. You know, that is insane. You know, like what the fuck? Yo, y'all sold the fuck out and people told you, and you fucking did it anyway. You fucking did it anyway. So now he's taking your family's health care because ain't no FBA's got no money in their pocket. They also just like everybody else suffering and striving and hoping to surviving. You know, they should have been angry at the Supreme Court when they shot down the student debt relief. The FBA should have been the most fucking angriest. But you had a dumbass like Tariq Nasheed talking about, look at them immigrants. You know, you should have been angry. You should have been out there fighting for goddamn the minority farmer debt relief when Biden had it, when Biden signed it. You should have been fighting for it when the goddamn Supreme Court shut it down. And you you all are so much sellouts. You just sat back and just like, ooh, Biden should have got it done. He had 12 years. You're not watching. You're not paying attention. That's the problem, you know? Shit, man, that's so frustrating. I'm sorry, but I'm glad MJ said that. But MJ gonna have to learn, man. You know, you're gonna have to learn how not to be played, but like pawns. You guys got played, and listen, a lot of maggots got played by Trump too. Now, so don't take it personal. It's not a color thing. There's some dumbass white people, and some dumbass black people, and some dumbass Latinos, and some dumbass a whole lot of people that got played by Trump. There's nothing special about it. Okay. You're in the same category. It's just they got another word for you since you're now white. It's called FBA. They invented a new word because they're like, well, you can't really be, we don't need niggas in the MAGA club. So FBA is shit. You know what I'm saying? No. Don't even have as many letters and shit. Anyway, excuse my language, y'all, but that's my true feeling about that stuff. If you want to call yourself foundational African American, great. But listen, what you gonna do with it? What are you gonna do with it? You know, first of all, if you're gonna call yourself that, stand on it. Stop fucking begging. If you're gonna call yourself that, then stop just go somewhere else. You know what I mean? And just go and just don't be involved in nothing political. Because sitting up here talking about Biden and Obama had 12 years to do something for African Americans, that sounds like begging. Like, if you ask me, it sounds like begging. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. It sounds like begging. And where I come from, I don't see why no African American need to beg for shit. You know, we need to be active. We need to continue doing what we're doing. We need to be aware. We need to work and pay attention to what is happening around us and be in on everybody else's conversation, and then decide where we want to be on issues. You know, don't let these people play us and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they definitely did. Some MAGA people got played. The FBAs got played by Trump. They got played by Trump. And you guys, the worst part about it is we're minorities. So when we split, it hurts us more. That's the problem. It's not that you're different. It's not that you're special. Sure, everybody makes mistakes, but learn from your mistakes. The stakes are high, especially for African Americans. The stakes are high, so high we can't make these foolish mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Without learning from them. So learn this time around. Don't take that energy into 2026, because I'm going to tell you, you're going to be at home and you're going to be a goddamn fool, because people are fucking fed up right now and they ain't going to fall for it again. That FBA shit is not going to fucking ride this time. Just understand that. You're going to look more of a fool than you were last time, because now people figured it out. You know what I mean? They figured out exactly what it is. But I guess I see Hillary got one of these, got a MAGA lover out here and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know. Anyway, y'all, look, I'm going to put the thing down. I'm going to put the link down. You know what I'm saying? It's not personal against MJ. You know what I'm saying? It's not personal. But I'm going to tell you, anybody come up here, Tariq Nasheed, I'm going to tell you, Tariq Nasheed ain't got shit on me. You know, he don't have shit on me. Like, for real. Tariq Nasheed knows that he sold out people for his own goddamn money in his own fucking pocket. That's what he knows. Okay? I'm not doing this to get some money in my pocket. I'm not saying what I'm saying. Tariq Nasheed got millions of dollars grifting off the black community. Is that my reputation? Fuck no. Fuck no. You see what I mean? Like, hell no. You know, I've never grifted off of the black community, my own community. You see what I mean? Hell fucking no. Please, that's some clown ass shit. And yeah, Hey, but that's some people got to go down like that. Some people got to go down like that in history, and that's what Tariq Nasheed wanted to do with his shit. He wanted to play those games. Yeah, he wanted to take advantage of maybe black people that aren't completely, totally up on what's on game. That's what he wanted to do to get some money in his pocket, and that's just part of what it is. It happened with MAGA too. A lot of those people got played, so we ain't doing that bad. But most black people, most black Americans, most African Americans didn't fall for that shit. We are the least amount that fell for it. As a population, we fell less for the bullshit than any other group of people by percentage. So that we should be proud of, like straight up. And it's facts. I'm telling you, the data is there. Less African American people fell for this bullshit with Trump than any other group that's out there. So we should be proud. We should be proud. But there's always going to be a few. There's always going to be a few. But this time you risking your life, goddammit. I'm telling you. Because black Americans are fucking not having it this time around. They don't want to hear no more dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what the hell? Like, damn, man. When you going to stop blaming the few people that try to do something? Like, damn, you know. In any case, y'all, I'm going to be out for the moment. I'm going to catch y'all back in maybe about, what is this? In some hours, about 8 hours from now, in the late night grind in the U.S. But I appreciate everybody for coming out. Yeah, blood is, yeah, you know. But you know, but I'm glad that MJ said that. MJ, don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. I wasn't I know it seemed like I was targeting you, but I'm gonna tell you that could have been anybody that brought this topic up, because it's a very serious topic. But listen, anybody that's willing to admit when they make a mistake, I'm all right with it. And I'm not saying that to you, but I'm begging you, rethink what you're saying. I told you, go look at the Supreme Court. They signed a bill. Biden asked for student debt relief. He got a partisan ass Congress and a partisan ass Senate to agree and sign and bring him the law to sign. He signed it, and then these motherfuckers in the Supreme Court shot it down. African Americans needed that bill, bro. We needed that bill. That's not a joke. Do you know how many African American women are in debt just because they endeavored to go to fucking school and they still can't get that debt off? Do you know what that means to their life, to their families? It means they can't buy a fucking home, bro. Like, get serious. And tell Tariq Nasheed to fucking get serious. And it's just like that for black men that went to college. Get fucking serious. You talk about Tariq Nasheed used to talk about black farmers. Well, motherfucker, goddamn. Didn't you know Biden and Kamala got a bill through a partisan ass Congress and a partisan ass Senate and signed the bill just for the motherfucking 6 bitch ass fucking right wing fucking Supreme Court justices to shoot the fucking bill down? Do you know how many African American farmers needed that bill, bro? That's not a joke. It's not a joke. You know what I'm saying? And nobody needs to be treating you like it's a fucking game, because it's not a game. You need to correct that fucking wrong and get it straight. Like, seriously, you need to get it straight, man. It's not going to fly this time around. Yo, I'm begging you to research what you said. Yeah, just research it. Just that's all I'm saying, you know. And listen, it's not out of hate that I'm saying this, but research it, because you're going to have a very hard time soon coming with this logic. Like, people are pissed. We don't have any more time to pay for somebody else's goddamn stupidity. Like, straight up, it's got to be straightened up, and it's going to get straightened up. I'm going to tell you, and it's not about you, but some of these people out here guiding the ignorant, they going to get dealt with. You know, like, seriously, they're going to get dealt with, because people are starting to see them for what they actually really are. So, in any case, I'm going to be out. I'll be back with y'all. I appreciate everybody for coming out as usual and for supporting. And I'm going to catch you all in like, what is it? I'm going to catch y'all around 03 Central, Eastern European, no, 03 Eastern Standard Time USA. So that's late night hour in the morning, the wee hours. I appreciate everybody. Peace. See you, Rafiga. See ya.
I know how to see a whack MC when he bustin', but I just back away real cool, no fussin'. I'd rather go kicking in the streets with the bums and use the knowledge to collect some funds.
Open a non-profit and build a damn school.
And this is the story of how a great king rules. There's many that claim to know the local demographic, but don't have the nerve to tell you the truth. It's tragic,
but I do.
So sit back and let me spit this shit to you. You feel better when I spit this shit to you. Despite the system trying to
clamp down on the people.
People will learn how to
stand up to evil. Not evil that's across the globe, that's too far, but evil that lies in their own backyard. And fighting, it's not an option. They can't win. The government is not supposed to represent sin.
But then again, they do, and that's a problem. So let's go down and figure out how to solve them. It's not fun
being a rapper that can't speak, but we do.
Yes, and
plus we make fat beats, yo.
We smoke weed, break
see
up
ya.
trees. Listen, bringing fat beats, that is our mission. You wanted to see us, so boy, shut up and listen. Thelonious and Big Benny, brother, check the vision. Mentalities of different realities. Enter the Star Trek room when you hear the boom. I be the Walkman with the super bass. Automatic stop, yes, stereo cassette player. With the delayer, freaky lyrical sprayer. Extraterrestrial rhyme sayer. I be the poetical VIC/master of the ceremony. Tenderoni, won't you come step with me? I'm on a historical journey. Kinda like Sigourney. Implore me to represent the attorney that represents my niggas, go figure. It's the card, they call me Uncle Bigger. Niggas love your blunts, down your liquors. I read the parallel to the fiction. You're fixated on this brother's nature. Relaxed behavior, I might save your change. Flip it, rearrange. The whole concept, yo, is good for all your brain. Insane, psychotic, neurotic, black onyx, and hooked on phonics. Just atomic, bees like a bonnet. Cut with the Asiatic, they all up on it. Rhyme static with the erratic type of skill. You wonder, is this nigga Vic really for real? It's still, but only necessary in the berry. I'm milk like dairy, they quite contrary. That's scary, but I'm a dog in the prairie. I scurry to grab my bones and just worry. Lyrical flurry, go get your secretary with impeccable diction. My style might vary, so get a hold of your own shit real fast. Fucking with us, we take it right out your ass. Prairie dogs chill while the other dogs howl. Too many dogs get sent to the pound. Back on the hill, me and my peeps just lounge. Prairie dogs, we keep it on the down. Splatter, don't like gun splatter. We try to climb the ladder, wicked men get better. They make it like splatter, but it really don't matter. Cause you know we coming back to our sons and our daughters. To follow him, the one who protects ya. And the mother, she will never neglect ya. Through divine nature, the people respect ya. And in this way, I deliver my lecture. MC when he bustin', but I just back away real cool, no fussin'. I'd rather go kicking in the streets with the bums and use the knowledge to collect what? Some funds. Open a non-profit and build a damn school. And this is the story of how a great king rules. There's many that claim to know the local demographic, but don't have the nerve to tell you the truth. It's tragic, but I do, so sit back and let me spit this shit to you. You feel better when I spit this shit to you. Despite the system trying to clamp down on the people will learn how to stand up to evil. Not evil that's across the globe, that's too far, but evil lies in their own backyard. And fighting, it's not an option, they can't win. The government, it's not supposed to represent sin, but then again they do, and that's a problem. So let's go down and figure out how to solve them. It's not fun being a rapper that can't speak, but we do, yes, and plus we make fat beats. Yo, we smoke weed, break up trees. Listen, bringing fat beats, that is our mission. You wanted to see us, homeboy, shut up and listen. Thelonious and Big Bennett, brother, check the vision. Mentalities of different realities. Enter the Star Trek room when you hear the boom. I be the Walkman with the super bass. Automatic stop, yes, stereo cassette player. With the delayer, freaky lyrical sprayer. Extraterrestrial rhyme sayer. I be the poetical VIC/master of the ceremony. To the bony, won't you come step with me? I'm on a historical journey, kinda like Sigourney. Implore me to represent the attorney that represents my niggas, go figure. Here's the card, they call me Uncle Vigor. Niggas love your blunts, down your liquors. I'll be the parallel to the fiction. You're fixated on this brother's nature. Relaxed behavior, I might save your change. Flip it, rearrange the whole concept. You must look for all your brain. Insane, psychotic, neurotic, black onyx, and hooked on phonics. Yes, atomic, it bleeds like a bonnet. Cut with the Asiatic, they all up on it. Rhyme static with the robotic type of skill. You wonder, is this nigga Vic really for real? It's still, but only necessary in the berry. I'm milk like dairy, they quite contrary. That's scary, but I'm a dog in the prairie. I scurry to grab my bones and just scurry. Lyrical flurry, go get your secretary with impeccable dictions. My style might vary, so get a hold of your own shit real fast. Fucking with us, we take it right out your ass. Every dog chill while the other dogs howl. Too many dogs get sent to the pound. Back on the hill, me and my peeps just lounge. Prairie dogs, we keep it on the down. Splatter, don't like none splatter. We try to climb a ladder, wicked men get better. They make it like splatter, but it really don't matter. Cause you know we coming back to our sons and our daughters. The father is the one who protects ya, and the mother, she will never neglect ya. Through divine nature, the people respect ya, and in this way I deliver my lecture. I traveled the globe just to gain perspective. The theory of relativity applied. Of course, it took a while to decide how I should proceed, but even my life is truly based upon need. So I move forward with more deliberate speed. Smash corny motherfuckers that stuck on greed. My seed is worth more than $1 million in future stock. The goal is to break the safe, the padlock. Mad cats can't stop it, need a rocket. Your style is boring and cold, mine is tropic. Battles you want, commit, you'll change the topic. My partner, sir, get to put your beat in the pocket. So this nigga here can proceed to destroy your stereotypical pop rap gangsta ploy. Not hating on niggas from the ghetto, but I'm hating on copycat rappers from the meadow. They procreate bullshit without paying the price. That's like talking about CeeLo with no dice. I drink milk, but that's about it. I won't compare dairy MCs to dope shit. I want you full undivided in this here place. We came to entertain and to educate your bum ass niggas and your non-believers. You know we change your membrane every time you see us. The odds can't stand when you nigga with ease. The way we get